Okay, good afternoon, folks. Sorry I'm late. I was just trading a couple of valuations that just passed now. I took them off here, took some there, the lower high, took some there, and just took a bit there. So hope everyone's well. Yeah, so I've looked at this over the yesterday. It seems to be fitting quite nice. We've been up here once, twice, three times. So I think I got $1,000 off there. About the same there, and the rest of it as it broke below that bar there. So Speedy, how you doing, bud? Sam, I'm awake, mate, don't worry. Ionis, how you doing? Okay, let me just make sure I get all this set right now. Let's put this back to 2 contracts. So 2 contracts, 10 ticks, PA 56. So PA 56. So 1, 2. Okay, let me just check that everything is working correctly.
Order submitted.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Beautiful. 2 contracts, 10 ticks. Excellent. And cancel.
Order canceled.
Okay, fantastic. All ready to go. So let's see what sort of trading day we have today. Friday. It's hard to say whether this is in there. I mean, you can't deny it. We got a touch. Look how that's touched there. Look how that's touched there. We got close to it. We dropped blue collar, took that lower high, 833. Did you? Good on you, mate. 833. We're going for. They would have lost their shit. Took that lower high, 833. 833. You on about 833 this morning or not? What am I doing? 833. Am I losing my marbles? It had to happen at some point. Why have I still got my break on here? There we go. Ah, I got rid of the live instead. Okay, there is a lower high there, but we are at a little bit of support there. Tempting as it is. We're at a bit of support here. It'll probably work. But there is some support there, and it is a little bit too far away. Central time, I got you. Okay, I got you. It was a lower high, wasn't it? Right. What did it say? 33. So it was around about here. So was it that one there? I suppose it must have been, wouldn't it? Yeah, I had some skin in that as well. Have you reloaded data? I haven't, mate. Let's do that now. Yeah, it was that one. Yeah, I don't see a problem with that one. We've been up here twice. I mean, you can't deny. I know Mac never talks about this, but look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we've opened today 6, 7, literally a couple of ticks off. You can't argue with that, I don't think. You know what I mean? If you were trading the hourly or the weekly or the daily or the 4-hourly, you wouldn't just have one day. You would have multiple days. And you can't deny that. We all-time highs eventually. I had a feeling we would take a dunk. What's going on here? Why have we got 2 of those all of a sudden? Oh no, back. I've had a feeling we were going to take a nosedive. We did a while ago when we hit it a few times in a row. So let me see if there's any sort of legs down there. So we got a leg down there. Maybe that could have been that though, couldn't it? It's hard to say really. So, I mean, it started off that way anyway. That one went down to the midline. So it went down. Well, 0.5 you'd have squeezed out of that. Mind you, it hasn't finished yet. But you just got to be a bit careful. So let me just have a little look on this NQ. There is a possible lower high forming on this NQ. Let me have a look at this. It is a bit early at the moment. Now, I've been looking at the last couple of days to trade those evaluations, but when you're trading a $16 evaluation, it's a bit of a different story, isn't it? So that's actually a failure, trapping the longs. It was quite a large bar, that anyway, but it's also a second entry long with a bit of support, so there's probably going to be a few people going along there, maybe. Little channel break, new low, so we'll just keep an eye on that. It'd be nice to get a trade this week. I'm down about $300, I think, on the week. It's been a really slow week, but more importantly, I haven't done anything stupid. So we know there's a line down there anyway, so I'm just going to copy that and put it there. Let's bring it down a touch. I'm going to remove that. I'm just going to bring that down just a smidgen, so at least I know there is going back a chunk of the day, because ultimately we look like we're ranging low volume again, very low volume. I mean, where do we open? About here. I mean, we got that overnight. Bearing in mind it is the 2000 tick chart, so that went down for about a 1.5. Too risky in my opinion. We got support right the way along there, and it is a bit too far from the EMA. If that was right up there somewhere, then I may have been interested. So I think it's fair to say just at the moment we seem like we're ranging. So 2 more PAs to come tomorrow. That'll take me to 14. So when I get to 20, I'm going to split them up into 2 10s. I may even split these up tomorrow. We'll see. I may Monday. I may even do maybe 8 and 6 or something. I don't know. We'll see. I think it's good to split them up, especially 10 and 10. I wouldn't like all my eggs in one basket. If something goes wrong, it could be in all sorts of trouble. In fact, I might as well just extend that, might I? So can't argue with that. There's a failure there. I would have preferred that if it had trapped that long, but it hasn't. The only trouble is you've got to be careful looking at that as part of a downtrend, and it may be, but it's also flipping sideways, so you could short that and it could take you out. It looks like it may do. The trouble is we came down once before to about here and then pushed up. In fact, I'm very tempted to put something there, because we're definitely finding some resistance there. So going short there. Not that I would anyway. It is a failure. I preferred it if it had trapped that, but you just can't go short there really, because it's bouncing there and it is sideways. I don't know. Is this a channel? Is it going to continue down? Are we going to have 2 legs up and nick this line again and come down? There's so many different possibilities here, so there's just nothing I can do really, in all fairness. I am looking at this oil chart as well, and that's just going sideways. So nothing on there really, I don't think. If that was bearish, I may have had a go at that leg down, leg and a leg. A little bit of sideways here, fell breakout. It did work, but the signal bar was naff. So I love this type of trade, I do. one leg up, second leg up, trapping any possible longs, and then straight down. But the signal bar was crap. It's almost like 2 legs up, isn't it? 2 attempts to go high and then down, but signal bar not good. So, see if we get a second entry short here. So, you got to be so careful with this though, because you can get really whipped around. Even if that breaks above there and gives us a short there, it's beyond for me to go short into that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's quite a bit of support along there, within a couple of ticks either way. That the open as well. That's I'd prefer that to tick above there, but I just can't go short into that. It may come rocketing down, but I'm going to have to let it go. So let's gander up bookmap. Yeah, there is a lot of liquidity down here. Around about 15. And VWAP is up here somewhere. We seem to be respecting that. So if we can get a leg and leg, we'll see. See what happens. See how I feel when I see it. What the bloody hell's going on there? Okay, my slight concern there is there's a small break, so I can't take a trade there, unfortunately. It may work, but there is a small break. So tempting, but it's congested. It may work, but it's congested. I just can't take it. It could trigger you and stop you out. It may work. It's flickering around on the NQ like it could drop. But the trouble is on the NQ, it's actually, we got 2 legs. Look how it's respecting that midline. So it's triggered that bar there. Look, it's congested. If I took that short there, I'd expect that to be stopped out. So another reason not to go short. I don't think it's triggered. No, it hasn't. But if that had triggered, you'd have got stopped out straight away there. So another good reason that I use this NQ chart, because you can see how it's respecting that there. It triggered there. Whether that'll hold, I'll be surprised if it doesn't break above there, because we're clearly working on the tops there. So, but obviously the downtrend may help you out there, but it never triggered, fortunately. But it was a second entry short. But the trouble is, I can't go short. 1, because we got such a lot of support there. 2, it's congested. And 3, the NQ is just telling me this isn't a good idea. So it does save my neck quite a few times, that NQ. It's like the final It's the final check. If everything plays out here, what is the NQ telling me? If the NQ is telling me it may go up, I can't go short here, because if the NQ goes up, this will follow it. So same again, low volume, started off very choppy. You've got to be so careful here. I'm quite glad that never triggered, so hopefully there wouldn't have been many traders, or certainly Pat's traders, who took that one. I get why they might have done. It's actually still closer than that line, but there is a small break there, so you don't know whether we're going to have a leg and, you know, do something completely different. Yeah, so it never triggered that anyway, and even if it would have done, it broke above it, so there's just nothing you can do there. It's congested to hell, and there is a lot of support. In fact, I'm going to get rid of that, I think. It might affect my trading. Well, my chart and your bars are a lot different than mine. Maybe my chart, I don't know. Anybody else? I did reload it 5 minutes ago. Anybody else's chart look different than mine? Or were you more the same? Can't go long here either, because we've had a break and we could make a new low. If we make a new low, we could come down to here and it's still congested. Different? Different, okay. Let's try reloading it again. Right, how's that? Oh yeah, that's changed. I can see that bar there, because that was, yeah, that's definitely changed. Okay, that should be a lot better. That fits better as well. It's amazing how different it can change to, so that should be much better. Okay, 1, 2, 3 could be a triple test here. Trap in there. 1, 2, 3. Let's see how this finishes. The beauty is as well is we're coming back to the top of the range here, so this could come down some more. My only slight issue is we've made a measured leg, so I'd have to think twice. Perfect measured leg on there. So we could get a break of, let's have a look. Leg and a leg, we get a nice big bearish bar here. I much prefer that to tick above there, but there's going to be some longs there surely, and there. Leg and a leg, flipping tempting that is. Let's see
Order
how
submitted.
large it is. It's just not finished as nice as I'd have liked. No.
Order cancelled.
Let's see if we get a lower high down here somewhere, but it's just a bit risky, that is. So a leg and a leg. Measured move. Trouble is we have come off some support here, so just don't know. Don't like bigger channels in a range, but if you draw a bigger downturn, I think you can. Is this still working, is it? Let me just put it back just for a minute. So touch, touch, touch. Hidden second entry short. Tempting. If we can get a lower high, I may have a go at that. Channel. Leg, bouncing off support. God, blooming tempting, that is.
Order submitted.
It's a small bar, I gotta take it. Let's see how it falls. It's only 5 ticks.
Order cancelled.
You got to be careful of that, though. I think it's a nice place to bounce. It's clearly stalling there. There's no argument there. We need a lower high, really. We have got a leg and a leg. It's starting to look. We've had a break on the NQ. The channel. We've had a leg, and it's coming down. If we can get a lower high, I expect this to come down. We have made a measured move, though, so I've got to be a little bit careful. But it's definitely got a... Well, look at that. Unfortunately, there was just no entry there. Leg. Clearly stalling there. Well, that's a shame, really. There's no entry there, unfortunately. And not only that, that bar there broke above there. So you would expect... you can clearly see it's holding. There's 4 bars, and all of a sudden it just drops. But there's just no entry, unfortunately. See if we can get a lower high, because we've pushed below the EMA. If we get a little bit of a pullback here with another leg down to break the lows, we may get an entry. But it's a channel down there that I like. 2 legs, 2 clear legs up, and then woof, straight down. It's just coming down, unfortunately. It just doesn't... We don't get as... I think if people get an idea on direction, and it's a strong direction, sometimes you just don't get a pullback. It just keeps pushing, unfortunately. But look at that. I've had that there, and look what's happened. Once, twice, few ticks off, 4 times with a drop. You can't deny that. It's definitely played a part for me. But what I will say is we've had a perfect measured leg, and sometimes we'll make an attempt at a new low, but we won't get one. It just depends. You got to be so careful going short here. But it is like a little leg and a leg with a break. We'll see. We're also bouncing off a lot of support along here, so you may get a little pullback and you may go short, and it may make your day miserable, but that's not lying, is it? There is a little lower high on the NQ, but just nothing here. Look at that. It's a shame, really. If that gets below that bar there, that's coming down to the bottom. But 2 beautiful legs up, trapping some longs, unfortunately, signal bars naff. But look at that, touch, 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 channel down, leg, leg, and then woof. Never mind. After the 2 legs down support there's going to be some long stops there. I'd guess quite a few of them as well. 2 legs pushing up 1 leg. It's come down that quick, but if it breaks below there, see, leg down, 2. We may even get a measured leg. Let's have a look. Maybe trap a few longs here, thinking pushing back into the range and then down again. This is 1 leg for me, so if this was 2 legs down and we get a bullish bar, then it may go up. But after this is 1 leg down if we get a bullish bar here. But that to me, let's have a look. If it does make a new low on the MQ, that'll push straight past there. Leg down, a correction. Leg, pull back, leg, take us down to the bottoms, maybe below here. Well, actually, we're right at the lows there. It's a shame there was nothing there. If we had a bit of a lower high there, I'd have had a go at that. So clearly pushing straight through that, taking out any stops there, any stops that were in there. Second entry long, you may have had some in there thinking we're going to push up to these tops. But that's the thing sometimes. It's good to be aware of these because I've missed stuff like this before. And I'm thinking we're in a range, we come off the bottom, we test it once, twice. Nice big bullish bar, we'll come into the top. We get so far up there and wham. You know, you may even think we're pushing up. We may retest this and push up, but there's a bigger picture going on there. So if we get below there, that'll come down to the bottom, I'm guessing. Leg, that'll take us down to these lows. I think we're only a few ticks off there. We're not quite at the lows on the NQ, but sometimes it doesn't break those lows after a measured leg, but it looks like it's going to. If we get below there, we'll come down, I think. It may hold 2 legs. and down we come. We've triggered a little bull bar on the NQ. If it gets below there, it'll break below there. This will come down then. It may. That's what I meant. I mentioned earlier. Sometimes when we've had two measured legs, it makes an attempt, but it doesn't break the lows. This may be one of them. But I wouldn't consider taking that long. One, it's congested. Two, there may be a bigger picture leg and a leg. So I'd like to see that bull bar trigger. Okay, it has. Now let's see. Possible failure. Yeah, it's a bit congested. If it ends up bearish, it's not too bad. But I'm concerned now. We've got very close to these lows and we've pushed up strongly. This is coming back a bit, but is it going to come back enough? I don't think it will. Perfect measured leg. Sometimes it just doesn't come right back before it reverses. And that's strong buying off there, so I'm not taking a failure here, even if we are trapping some longs. Excuse me a sec. Okay, sorry about that. Just looking on the NQ at the moment. We've had this break. We haven't made a new low yet. Are we going to? We've had that measured leg, haven't we? Perfect measured leg. Right to the tick. So sometimes it'll make an attempt to. If it breaks below there, if it comes down, it will. Oh, look at that. Or is that just going to trap some shorts and push up? You've got to be careful there. It's trying to. But I ain't getting involved here. That to me looks, it's got trap written all over it, that has. It is a failure, but it is congested along here. And it's triggered that. I'd be concerned if I was in that trade now. If you are, though, don't let me put you off. This is just my thoughts. It's trying to push up on the NQ. Yeah, see, what you don't want when you take a trade is to see, go down a few ticks and to see that start reversing. I'll be surprised if that doesn't get taken out. It is a failure, but it's congested. We've got loads of support here. This could be a bit of a failed breakout. Last time we got below this line, we pushed in. We got below it again. We're pushed back in. We're in now. May work, but for me, unless we can tick above this bull bar, I think that's your last chance. But it's just too sideways, that is. Last chance saloon. If this comes down and takes that short out, that long out. I wouldn't like to be in here though. It could be a bit of a double trap here. It could push up, stop that one out and come down and take that out. You can't go short there really anyway. It's clearly stacked. This NQ, it's just 1 minute looking like it's going to push up. There's probably some shorts in there. It came down and started to look like it was going to push up. We've sort of had 2 legs back. So, how many contracts do you go for during evals? It depends, mate, really. If I'm doing it on quick moves or news or the open, I tend to go for 10. But, you know, it is hit and miss, though. Be prepared to lose some. But the open is quite moving. You've only got to get 6.25 points. So if you can read the market right, you can pick them up without any great difficulty. What I'm going to do on Thursday, I think there's some news. Chat with someone yesterday. There's some news. If this pushes above there, we're going up, I think. There's some news, I think, on Thursday. So I'm going to have a go at one of the 250,000 ones and just try and hit it. It's hitting one. It's hitting one. So I'm going to start trading about 1:15. Yeah, so if you took that short, you're knackered. Haunting Ruby Plays? That's a name and a half, isn't it? You're definitely a new face. Where are you from? He or she? I'm guessing a he. I think it's about 98% male, I think. So, yeah, so it was a failure. It could have come down, but now there is a possibility with this channel down. It's like a penguin style trade. We have one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher, possible second entry shorty. If that triggers, it may come down. That may be a penguin style trade, but I could be completely wrong. So I was just looking at this leg and leg back up to here, bearish bar, but that NQ looks like it's ready to take off. 1, 2, 3, possible triple test to go short there. I'm just at the moment, it's just it's ads. I'm on my voice. Oh, got you. Where are you from? Where are you from in the world? So 1, 2, 3, a possible triple test there. 2 legs up. Let's see what happens. It's still, no, it's broken above that line. So I'm going to get rid of that line now. I think I think it's played its purpose. Oh, you're Rotherham. Ah, I got you. Yeah, I got you. Okay, Yorkshire area, isn't it? Yeah, excellent. Shropshire, I am. Shropshire, you're getting some nice weather. It's lovely in the UK at the moment. Beautiful. Where I am, anyway, Shropshire. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 attempts to push up. Are we now going to have this second leg? It's hard to say. Crap price action again. Stagnant, sideways, not a lot of it. So yeah, bit of a short trap there. Let's have a look. This may be a penguin style trade. 1, 2, 3. Well, he sees it as channel. Temp 110. If we can push to that EMA strongly, then for me this is likely to go down. But it could do anything at the moment. It's a little bit unclear. Shame about that. If we had a nice bearish bar, I'd have had a go at that. 2 clear legs up and then woof, straight through that. Taking out any stops. That would have been a nice move, that was, if it was a nice enough signal bar. I mean, that bar and that bar, you'd have been in and out your points. 3 touches, yes. Yeah, there's no signal bar at the moment, is there? 1, 2, 3. Let's have a look at that NQ. That NQ is... What's that going to do? That's not looking promising, is it? Maybe we get a lower high. 1, 2, 3. It is a triple test. Trouble is, it's very sideways, and when it goes sideways, that's going to knacker that. When it's sideways and congested, it can mess you around. I'll be amazed if that doesn't stop that out. Yeah, as I was going to say, if that held for a lower high, that'll be a strong point to go short. It is a second entry short. We have been up here a few times, but sometimes it just doesn't work. We've hit an area here, so we may push up, or we may get another bar, trapping some longs in it. That may be your triple test, but you didn't take that one, Gonzalo, did you? That's short. Shame if you did. I get why you'd have taken it if you did, absolutely. It's very tempting. To be fair, what I tend to do now, if I'm not sure, I've never really been good at picking tops and bottoms, so I generally don't do it as a rule unless it is a triple test. But sometimes I think the safer option is to wait for the lower high. If you get a lower high from that red bar on the NQ, chances are then you are coming down, at least to the EMA anyway. But if that was a triple test and a lower high, that would have been, are you waiting? Yeah. That's a triple test and a lower high. So we've broken above another bullish bar then, but there are probably going to be some stops up here. So if we get above this area here, I'd say this is going to go a bit higher. So there's bound to be leg down, push up. There's a failure there, trapping some longs. We have made a measured leg. So if you took that trade, you're probably out anyway. So maybe there isn't any stops in there. I forgot about that measured leg. So the thing about that measured leg is if you have taken trades here, usually you'll be out with your profits around about here, maybe even here. Probably why we did a bit of stalling here, maybe taking some profits and pushed up, and we had another go, but we didn't break lower. So that probably makes sense that we push up. So that measured move's played out. Any shorts you took here or that lower high will have taken profits around here at these lows. So it's probably why we haven't necessarily had another go at coming lower. We've already done it once. So So we're short of this measured leg here, but that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to make it down to these lows. I'm just going to clean this chart up a bit. Measured move up. Yeah, we're above it now. Unless you're on about from there to there. Let's get rid of that. Leg. We started a couple of ticks up, so we're above that one. So let's have a look here. 2 legs back, another retest, so I would suggest that would probably be it. Maybe something like that. Excuse me just a quick minute. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. So leg and a leg. So little short-term trend channel with a break and a new high. First break of the started yesterday. Let me have a look at the daily. Yeah, that bearish bar's triggered, isn't it? So we've broken all-time highs with a big bullish bar. Now, would you want to go long there? Looks to me like we've had a couple of legs. It's a 7-point range, has to be a record. Slowest market. It's triggered that us. So it kind of looks like a leg, bit of sideways and another leg. So are we going to go higher? I don't know if I'll be in the market to go long. It's hard to say. You don't know really. Sometimes on a channel that'll trap that and push up. So maybe it may go up. Who knows? Hey Ryan, how you doing, bud? What'd you say? It was 7 points. Is it really? 7? Oh, well, a little bit more. Say 10, 10 and a half, 10 and a half, something like that. So we've had that channel down, haven't we? Maybe a break of it. hard to know what's going to happen, isn't it, today, really? May just do this. Yeah, it's been a crap week in all fairness. Last week wasn't great. This week's been worse. It's extremely low volume. I mean, look at this. We've been going an hour after markets open, and that's it. Yeah. Short-term trend channel break 1. 2 pushes up to a new high. I always like when we have a break, 2 pushes. I find they're a lot more reliable if we've had 2 pushes after a break. Trouble is, can't do nothing there. It's got a break above it, really. But let's have a look. We've been up here once and another attempt. So, leg and a leg. I wouldn't want to go short. I'd want to give it a chance to break above here. In fact, in all honesty, you could even put that range there. So we've had a breakout there. 1, 2 attempts to go lower. 1, 2. Another retest and up. So I wouldn't be shocked if we get up to this level. So we may push up and trap that short bar on that on the daily. It's a may, but it has triggered it and it is moving. So it may just go up and test the highs again, all-time highs again. So it's just speculation, really, isn't it? But we've sort of pushed up a few times lower. We've pushed up 1, 2, 3, 2, 3 attempts to go lower. So let's see what happens here. If we get a lower high or a failure, then I may have a go. But apart from that, I'm just staying out of this. It's a bit wicky. That bar's no good anyway, really. You usually pay the lifetime fee. Yeah, I do. But if you think you can keep account for 30 days, then yeah, you're much better off. It's $140 as opposed to for 2 months. You're looking at $170, and then obviously 100. So if you think you can keep your account for 30 days, I would do the $140. And not only that, there's no pressure to trade if you want to break. You know, if you're having a bit of a rough time, you've had a few losses, you want to take a break, there's no pressure to earn money because I've got 12 accounts, 14 tomorrow. If I'm paying $85, I'm paying nearly $1,000 a month. So I'm under pressure to earn. So I like the way, you know, if I'm having a bad day or the market's bad, you can walk away and just sort of let it happen organically without thinking, oh, God, I've got to pay fees again. So, yeah, it's just a much better way. In fact, I think as from Monday, I might split mine up a bit. 14, I might go sort of 8 and 6, something like that. I'd love to trade them all together. I would. It doesn't bother me about trading them all together. If something if I make a bad trade, what bothers me if something goes tits up with Rhythmic, something, and it only maybe has happened to half a dozen of us, and they say sorry, you've lost a lot. Whereas at least if you split them, you've got you still got your leg in the door. What people are doing, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you'll pay your fee initially. So if you pay the $85, 30 days later you'll pay another. So if you think you can keep your account, it depends where you are in your journey. I'd say up until maybe 2.5 months ago, I'd have been better off paying for the monthly because I just wasn't. I was okay while I was winning, but when I had a loss or two, I was just revenge trading and blowing accounts. But touch wood, since early March, my mindset's changed and I don't feel the need to carry on trading now. If I take a loss, I just walk away. I'm all right about it. Hey, Dean, how you doing, mate? If you use open range indicator and make it so it draws yellow box first, 50 minutes, it will help you in terms of direction. Read that again. Let's use open range indicator. Oh, does that make another half of it up here or down here, doesn't it? Something like that. Yeah, I've tried. I think about that before, don't you? And right click there or something. Show measured moves. Is that it there? Is that what you mean, Dean, is it? Or not? Just first 15 minutes. Okay. Okay. How do I get rid of that now? It's an... Oh, sorry, mate. Show measured move. It's an indicator. Okay, let's just see what happens here. See if we get a lower high here. Unfortunately, there's nothing you could take there. My concern is, trouble is, if the lower high is too close to that EMA, we could push up a bit more. Open range indicator. It's up here, is it? Is it not? Where is it, bud? Can't see nothing here. Or am I getting confused here? Open. Oh, is that actually open range? I did see that. Open range. It's disappeared. I'm sure I saw it. Did I not see it? Am I losing my marbles here? I could have sworn I saw it. Or is it not here? Have you got to have it? Have you got to purchase it extra? Have you? Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Am I losing it? Am I losing it? Ah, right. Yeah, it doesn't look like I got it, does it? Yeah, it is free. Where do you get it from? If you can remember, mate, let us know. Okay, so we're back. Ticker 2 above the EMA. Now we're pushing higher. So... just check I'm not missing anything here. Right, there's a lower high there. There is a possibility we could get up there, see, so I'm going to give that one a miss. Now, it may come down to the EMA and push up, but we may get a second entry long forming. So I'm just going to sit tight here because there is a possibility, touch, that there is maybe a bigger channel. We could have a leg up and another leg. It hasn't triggered yet, as it happens anyway. I'll have a search for open range in the Cave of Ninja Trader. How are you getting on with GAT, Dean? Still using it, bud? It doesn't come back to the email. No. It may do. So if that is a bigger channel, we got a leg down and a push up and a touch here. So if we can get a failure here, I may have a go at that, because if we come down and get a second entry long and trap some longs, I mean, there's no guarantees we'll get out. We've actually broken out the top. My only reasoning is we're fitting nice there, but we've had that big break out the bottom, so it's a leg up. We've just had a few attempts to go lower. Still using it. Good on you, mate. And it's obviously helping you. Good on you, mate. I believe the uptrend is off the lowest wick. That one there. Yeah, I'm not mega concerned, but if it is, then we've had a break of it. Yeah, you may be right. I only put it there really, not necessarily to take a trade, just to say that there may be a trend with a break in a new high, just to stop me from going short. Yeah, I think that looks better actually. Touch. Well, it's supposed to touch 3 times, isn't it, effectively? But you can set max loss on the rhythmic trade pro risk parameter if you don't need to buy. Yeah, you can. Yeah, I may do that actually, just in case something goes tits up. But that's the trouble, really. If something does go with rhythmic, at least you've got a fail safe, haven't you? I mean, I am using rhythmic quite a bit on my phone. So I know how to just get into it really quickly and close any trades. So hopefully that'll sort the problem out. But I was chatting to what's his name? He's another streamer. He's got the Facebook group. I can't remember his Facebook group. He doesn't trade. He trades something a bit unusual. But he said in the 2 years he's been using it or trading this style, he's never had a problem. Just to watch any setups you're in. If you download the Rhythmic app and select it, I'm looking at my setups now. So look. Yeah, I can see my all my accounts on it. They're all saying close. None of them are open. It shows me the PA number, the balance, and the closing PA. And there's a red cross next to them all. In fact, there's a red cross next to them all. And you just either select any... What's going on there? Ah, okay. Yeah, I forgot. Ninja Trader stops when you go into it. I forgot about that. You logged out. Yeah, I didn't log out of it. As soon as I logged into Rhythmic, it takes you out of Ninja Trader. So if for some reason something goes down, it takes you out. I don't know why it takes you out, but it does. So I just literally logged into it now. It'll kick back in now. Okay, we're back in. Let me just check everything is...
Order submitted.
They're all there. 2 contracts, 10. Yeah.
Order cancelled.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, when you log out, when you log into Rhythmic on your phone, it does take you out of this. I don't quite know why. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It gives you that little bit of extra protection. I mean, what I like about it, and I make a point, if you look at my chart, everything is on my chart. You can see all my accounts up in the right. You can see the positions tab as well, and I've got the positions and orders tabs on So everything is recorded. So if I'm trying to close accounts here that won't close, and you can see any amount, so I've got proof that if something goes wrong, it's nothing I've done. At least then you've got a leg to stand on. Because I've heard of a few people that said it happened to just me or maybe a few others and they wouldn't reset the accounts. But if it's like a blanket outage, they do tend to. So you can never be careful enough, I don't think, especially when you start to get P accounts, because, you know, I haven't got a lot in mine at the moment, but if they're costing me the equivalent of $140 each one, it soon amounts up. I've got $1,600 worth at the moment, so you don't want to lose them. Yeah, so I had my suspicions this may push higher because of this leg, maybe in this break. We'll see. It might not. Okay, nothing you can do here, unfortunately. Okay, so doji there, but it's been triggered, and this looks like it may push up. 50-minute range, price action. Tried twice to break the lows before trending up. If you give you a sense of direction, most traders I follow use it. On the 15-minute range. 15-minute range. So, okay, so that's odd looking. I might have looked at this before. I think someone else might have mentioned this. You on about this, are you, Dean? Boom, boom, boom. Tried 3 times in it to go lower. Is it the same sort of picture? Yeah, it's a similar picture, isn't it? We pushed up. We 1, 2, 3 attempts to go lower there, and we're having none of it. So I think, yeah, there's so much going on here. I know a lot of people use these almost what's it type bars. What are they called? I forget what they're called now. They're averaged out, aren't they? They all sort of look the same when we're going and up. We don't get the red and the green. We just get green. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, interesting. Interesting. Renko bars, that's the one. Yeah, when you look at them, you think, God, that looks easy. That trading looks easy. Just wait for them to start to go off. But I do like the way they average it out. But the trouble is, they don't give you any type of setups that we get. But it's interesting to look at, and it does actually look very easy to trade, doesn't it? I'm pretty sure it's not, but it does look easy. But I think we're just going to get a range day today. We may get up above here. But if we can get below that EMA, then see, we've had a break and a push up. If we can get below that EMA, then I don't know, I may think about getting a short. I'd like it to have a little push up here, but I think by the looks of things, we're pretty much going sideways again. That's a bit better. Okay, so leg, maybe another leg. Are we going to get up? 1.5. Yeah, it's low again, isn't it? I actually don't mind it when it's low. It just does make the bars a little bit less riskier. Okay, leg. Are we giving it up? We've also had a little double top there, so leg and leg. I'd like to have a second entry long here and then trap the longs and go for the lower high. Let's see what happens. See if this triggers. So, second entry long, technically, you can recount that. I'd definitely not be thinking about going along there personally. I'm hoping it triggers and comes down. Share your secrets. No secrets, mate. Just pure idiocy. I've just... I hit a point and part of this was down to you, Dean. I hit a point, you should probably remember, in March, early March, where after talking to you and John and Nutty a few weeks before, I decided I was going to get that GAT. And then for some reason, I relaxed. It's as if a weight got taken off my shoulders. And I traded the next couple of days really fine. And a few days after that, I had a loss and I managed to walk away. A few days later, I had 2 losses and I managed to walk away. And I've never been able to control that. And ever since, I've been fine. I've had 2 losses, I've had 1 loss, and I've had no desire to come back. Something's finally changed. So at that point, I just started building. Now, in all honesty, a lot of this is down to luck because I do take stupid risks on my evaluations. I blow a lot, to be honest with you. I'm very aggressive with them. So that part of it is just a bit of luck. So it's just a matter of getting a few at a time and a few at a time. Yeah, that's what it's done. It's not come back, mate. So it's great. Lag and a lag, it's not come back at all. If I had a loss or 2 losses today, I'd walk away. I'd have no desire at all. I'd want to get away from the charts. I have no desire at all because, you know, with that change in mindset and just that pure frustration of blowing so many accounts, just thinking it just does not work. So I don't even consider now wasting my PAs because that I've worked hard to get. Well, I haven't worked hard because a lot of them are but you know, they've cost money. And I've got the opportunity now to build them and build myself a nice, comfortable sort of soft layer. But yeah, ever since then, it was probably early March, I think. No desire at all, none at all. Walk away, no problem at all. I'm happy to get away at the end of the day. So I have read that mindset does change in time. Sooner or later, loss after loss after loss after frustration, sooner or later your brain goes, I can't do this anymore, and something changes, and that seemed to be the catalyst that I decided to get that. I all of a sudden just felt really relaxed when I was trading. I wasn't scared anymore, wasn't nervous. Don't get me wrong, I don't like taking a loss. I get an uncomfortable feeling, but there's no desire to. Let's carry on. Trading becomes boring and you lose that feel. You need to be trading. That's where it clicks. Yeah, it does. Yeah. It's almost like an obsession, isn't it? And you've got a buzz to do it and you want to do it. All I want to do now is come to work, do my job and go home and get away from it. I enjoy the challenge when I'm on the charts. I enjoy the challenge in looking. But at the end of the day, when my 3 hours are done, I want to get away. But yeah, I know what you mean. It becomes boring. It becomes like a job then, doesn't it? And finally, the frustration and the anger and all that stuff just starts to starts to go. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, at the end of the day, I've had enough. I used to think about trading. I used to come back every night. If I'd have had a loss now, when I finished the stream, I'd have continued to trade. And I'd have revenge traded till I either got my losses back or I blew the account. If I'd have taken 2 losses, I'd have ended the stream there straight away and I'd have just clicked buy in the direction the market was going, whether there was a setup or not. I absolutely had no control over it. But now I want to get away. I would like to see a lower high here. We've tried to go up once. I'd like to see maybe a hidden second entry long there that triggers, because we've tried to go up multiple times, and at some point this thing will just come down. But no, it's just things are so much better now, which is why then I've just decided to build and build. The plan is to get to 20 and split them up 10 at 10, so at least you've got a little bit of safety there. Which is why I've got more now. I traded 2 with 10 contracts. The thing is, when the market opens, it moves quite quick, and if you can catch the direction it's working in, you can soon make up those 6 points. So that'll take me to 14. So I'm going to split them up, I think, from Monday, maybe 8 and 6 or something. I'd love to trade them all. If Daryl Martin guaranteed if something went wrong with the software that they'd write them, then I'd trade the 20. But it just does take that pressure away a bit. But I've had to focus on, if I lose $200 or $300, I don't, think about how much it is over the whole of the accounts, because you can soon start to think I've lost $3 or $4 grand today, and that can mess your head. I just tend to think I've lost $300 in one account, and that's it. And I'm trying as well, when I come back tomorrow, to not think about trying to get my losses back. I'm trying to forget about that. I'm just thinking about moving on to the next trade. If you do try and get your money back and you have that sort of attitude towards it, you can get a bit silly. And I have done from time to time. I tend to hold on to a trade longer than I should, as opposed to just putting it behind me and just moving on to the next trade and going for my, my normal sort of 2.5 points. But yeah, you're right about that. When trading becomes a bit boring, that sort of buzz and that, that sort of raw emotions, everything's tingling and on fire. After a while, it starts to go, and then you start to be controlled more by your head rather than your, rather than your emotions. This thing's coming down, I think. Unfortunately, there's no lower high there, at least to here anyway. Yeah, there's no entry there really, which is unfortunate. If we could have got something there maybe, or here. But yeah, that's when things changed. It was early March, about 2 months ago. Was it March, April, May? Yeah, about a couple of months ago, I think. Just over a couple of months ago. I mean, I've still got to be careful, but I've just, there's no desire to jump into a trade. Absolutely none. But, it's taken me really 3 years of trading this style. I had 6 months before currency, but I didn't know jack shit back then, to be honest with you. I've really learnt in the last 3 years. But it's taken 3 years of blowing and frustration and anger to finally go. So it's not a quick fix. It's not easy, but I'd read it quite a few times that people said it will go, it will eventually go, it'll, and it makes sense. You know, if you do something scary or something that gets the emotions, if you do it every day, it can't affect you the same way. But the frustrating thing is now finally I've managed to get on top of those emotions. We're not getting any bloody setups. This will come down here, I think. Yeah, it's frustrating. The one time I decide, you know, now I've hit that level, and I've got no bloody trades. Back inside it, yeah. See, Dean, when you say 15-minute range, do you mean as in what I just showed you? You're on about the 15-minute time frame, or you're actually genuine about the 15-minute range? You're on about that, yeah? Yeah. I pretty much, my gut feeling that we come down. There is a bit of an overshoot there, so we may get a little correction before we come down again. There may not be. No, I'm not convinced. First 15-minute candle on the market. Okay, so, okay. Right, okay. Are you on about this? The 15-minute candle? Between 2:30 UK time. So you're on about one of these. Are you on about that one there, are you? I think you are, aren't you? Look at that. If it was only an entry there, well, that would have been nice, wouldn't it? If you could have got something there. It's the range created by the first 15 minutes of the open. Okay. Could have got an entry there. That would have been nice, wouldn't it, down to the bottom? Right, so you're on about the range that's created by the first 15 minutes. So from here to here, basically, then, yeah? Yeah, I think that's what you mean. It's a shame there, really. If we'd have had a failure there, I've had a go at that. That's where I wanted a failure, triggering above there. Would have been lovely. Yeah, I got you. So yeah, first 15 minutes really gave us from here to here, didn't it? And then came down to about there. Yeah, I got you. That's interesting. So many different things to learn, really. I fail to see how any extra knowledge can't help you. So, definitely an overshoot. So I'd like to come down and retest this. And then maybe catch a high low back up to the highs. I mean, we bounced off here. It goes away from it. Or trades around it. It's another direction. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and we sort of opened up here, didn't we? We came up and then had two legs down. So yeah, we created some tops and bottoms, didn't we? So leg up, or we got a channel with a break, two pushes up to a new high, bearish bar, that worked. Unfortunately, nothing there or there really. I don't know whether you've had a go at that. It is a bit of a doji, isn't it? But trouble is you don't know whether it's going to trigger yet and push up. But I don't think that's maybe an issue at the moment, is it? Actually, I don't mind ranges now. Now I understand them a little bit. See, I don't think that was actually a bad long, was it? Trapping some shorts there. We're clearly bouncing at this level, aren't we? We've had a channel with 2 legs. We've had 2 legs up, 1, 2 legs down. Bullish bar, high low, trapping some shorts, and that took off, didn't it? So that's an ideal type of trade to take in a range, really, isn't it? That high low. I tend to avoid ranges a little bit. Mainly because most of the time we have them, every time we move up we're at a different level, so they're hard to trade. So maybe a correction, another retest, and then up again. And it's always nicer to trade them as well if you're trapping a long or a short. So leg down, 2 legs down, bearish bar there. Maybe traders holding, thinking we're going to come down and break below these lows. Triggered it by 1 tick straight up. Another bearish bar, leg down, 1 attempt to go high, 2nd attempt to go high, and maybe traders thinking we're coming down again and break these lows after this channel. Triggered, pushed up bullish, and off it went. At the time, I think I was more focused on that bigger picture, which is why I wouldn't. Yeah, wasn't I? It's all right to make mistakes. I was focused on something like that. 2 legs up. Which is probably why I wouldn't consider that. But you learn, don't you? Every day is a school day. That's what I like about this business. There's always something to learn, and the more you do this, the more you realise what a skill it is that just builds up over years of experience. There's nothing nicer to spend your days at home, isn't there, when everyone else is out joining the rat race, working their asses off for somebody else who doesn't give a crap about them. Okay, so that's like a hidden 2nd entry short. I do expect a retest, but I'm not taking that. There's an overshoot, usually a correction after an overshoot. May probably come down, but I'm just staying out of it just in case it doesn't. I don't see us bouncing off that support next time. Up here, no. Actually, as far as range days go, it's not a bad looking range, this. It's quite clear, isn't it? We're touching more or less the same time every time. And up here as well, roughly within a tick or two. So as far as rangings go, it's quite a clean one. Yeah, that would have been a nice trade to take. Sure, bullish bar off the bottom, high or low, trapping some shorts, respecting that bottom. Clearly a triple test, if at least. Channel, break, 2 pushes up, 1, 2 pushes down, bullish bar, high or low, trapping shorts. Yeah. And if you took a runner as well, you'd have had a runner there, wouldn't you? Right to the top, you could have took that. Okay, possible lower high. I'm just not taking this at the moment because of the overshoot. We could bottom it. It may come down and have another go. It may not. We've trapped a possible long there. May come down, stop that out, and then push up. So I don't want to trade. My experience of trading around this center is risky. On days like this, really, the only place to trade is off the bottoms or off the tops. Be testing 5,300 down here. Oh, yeah. There was one of those setups there as well. I start looking at these now. If you just buy at the low there, put your stop 8 ticks. There's your profit. Nice small channel like that. Going up. Bearish bar. Triggered it, pushed up. So I expect that to get to 2 points. Trouble is, when we had that overshoot, you don't know whether it's going to come back and take a bit more. Ah, dear me. So I'll move that now, but it's to tick below that yellow line there. Now that's interesting. There's a second entry short. Leg down. Second entry short there on the NQ, which is triggered. There's also a failure there, so nice to see this push up. Nothing I can take there. Not bullish enough, too close to the highs, a little bit congested. After the overshoot, you don't know whether it's going to come down before it pushes up. There is actually a second entry short there, which is triggered, so there's just nothing there really, even to go long if you wanted to, but it's a little bit congested there, so I couldn't do anything if I wanted to. It's alright, I was just looking at this NQ chart. There is a second entry short which is triggered and pushing up, but this just looks like it's struggling to get up at the moment. It may work, but after this leg down, this could come down at another time. It's hard to know, but it's struggling to move anywhere at the moment, so could go either or. I don't think I'd like to be in a long or a short there. 1 minute it looks like it might go, next minute it starts to go red. So second entry short, and there's a failed second entry short as well, so who knows where that's going to go. After that leg up, you'd maybe favour it for another leg up, but we've had this big leg down, see, so look how things are changing now. But see what I mean, comes down red and starts to change, so that's kind of like why I like that NQ. It moves a bit quicker than this, so it kind of gives you a little bit of direction before this is even finished. So that overshoot, whether that overshoot's created a little bit of congestion. Hey Chris, how you doing, pal? But yeah, it's not a bad looking day so far. Yeah, but the same again, yeah, middle of the range. My experience of taking trades at the middle of the range are risky at best. Ideally, I wish I'd have taken that one. I thought that was an absolute perler. 2 clear legs down, nice bullish bar. I don't think that was terrible. You could say maybe slightly a bigger risk there, but yeah, 50. Yeah, I mean the trouble is sometimes you're forcing yourself to constantly count, and you're thinking, oh, there we go, high, low, failure, and sometimes you can sort of make up trades and think, oh yeah, we got a setup. Well, technically we have got a failure there, but the context is of congestion, and when it goes sideways, it's an area of uncertainty, and that uncertainty then can make it go off in a different direction. So sometimes I get into these trades, but I am becoming more and more aware. I just need to keep a little bit of patience, because we all know at the moment lately setups have dropped off, and the trouble is with that, there's a lot more time sitting around, and sometimes when you're looking for setups, you see a good one and you start to question it. And there's been a couple of trades I should have taken, and you think, oh, is it though? Am I seeing, you know what I mean? But no, I agree, mate. I agree. It's dangerous taking trades there, because after the overshoot, you don't know what it's going to do, and I think you learn after time. When you take trades when it's like this, the odds of them working does drop, and sooner or later, in time and experience, you do just get better at filtering the crap out. I mean, I don't take anywhere near as many trades as I used to, and I put that down to just purely experience. More trades you lose, the more areas you get caught. Sooner or later, you do start to learn. That's what I love about this business. You're learning and not even realising it sometimes. Sometimes you're that focused on the frustrating side and the losses, but you're missing the fact that when you're taking these losses, you're really learning something, which brings us back to the conversation we had yesterday about Max saying you shouldn't be trading with money. Best to learn these mistakes on a sim, really, when you're not losing any money. But I don't know, sometimes if there's a bit of skin in the game, do you take it in a little bit more? Maybe that little bit of money involved in it, maybe that makes you remember it a little bit harder. But it's a great business. I love trading. I love the challenge of trading, but it is a tough business. It looks very, very easy, but it's all those, I can hear the little cogs in my head just breaking from time to time, just moving around and calculating all these little bits of scenarios. And what does that look like? What is this like? Where is it? There's thousands, hundreds of thousands of little calculations going on your head, which lead to you taking a trade. But it is, once you can get rid of that anger and frustration. But I went through a time where I felt depressed, miserable. You guys know I like me single malt, and I was drinking a little bit more. I was maybe having 3 or 4 doubles after every bad day at least. There was even a time where I was having a drink during trading just to try and calm the nerves. My wife said I was stroppy and grumpy. But I generally believe if you're going through that now, just try your best to tackle it, but you will move through it. You will move forward. So this may be trapping some shorts, and we may go woof. Yeah, I think so. I think this is going to go up. Maybe not. It's all right. I was just looking at this then. There is a lower high. We've pushed up off the bottom. There's a lower high there. A little bit of sideways. I've heard Max say that. Drops out the bottom. The shorts drop in and off it goes. I don't know at the moment, though. So in all honesty, we could get some more down, but no, it is a great business, and you can earn a lot of money in it. And it's part of the reason I love it is I work around about 3 hours a day. How many people do that? Just doesn't exist, does it? The types of money. But I've put a lot into perspective with the money side of it. I've put about £25,000 into it. I worked out. English, that includes everything, the Ninja Trader license, all the computer equipment, all the evaluations, and my own money that I lost, graphics cards and extra screens and all sorts of stuff. But as I mentioned before, if you did a degree in the UK, currently it's, I think, a minimum of £10,000 per year, and people don't bat an eyelid in paying that. So I think there's it is congested, but it's readable. There may be a nice second entry long on here. There's some shorts there. So if this breaks above there and there, you can see us having another leg, I think. But so yeah, I tend to think. I thought a lot about the money, how much it's, and I've dreaded sometimes working all out. But you are really paying for an education, and an education that is going to make you potentially a lot of money if you follow it through and stick at it. Now, are we getting push up, bearish bar, lower high? They look like they're getting trapped to me. Sometimes when I see this, I'm itching to go short there, and all of a sudden off it goes. So for me, that's going up. So I expect it to stop that out, followed by that one, because there's going to be shorts in there for sure. People thinking, oh, leg down, push up, second entry short, followed by a lower high. That's a mistake, I think. And it's also like a little bull flag, isn't it? I hope I'm right now after saying all that. Yeah, this gives you the impression we're coming down, and I don't think we are. I think we're going to have another leg. You could also say there's a triple test there. 1, 2, 3, and off we go for another leg. That's the last point in the sand. Get above that, we make another leg. There we go. So unfortunately, there wasn't even a second entry long to go long here, but after that overshoot, I expected it to at least make an attempt at coming down again. So that one and that one got stopped out by a tick. So let's see if we do come down for another leg now. Gone short. You have. The thing is, after stopping that out, sometimes it does. At the moment, it's a bit sideways. I think it's more likely to go up, but it may come down. It's hard to say, but it's congested. For me, those two were just dangerous. One, it's sideways anyway, and we have come off the bottom here, so it's a little bit more obvious on here. I wouldn't be thinking about going shorts, and in all fairness, there wasn't any shorts there, really. Yeah, I doubt you'd have taken that one. It is a second entry short, technically, but I doubt people would have taken it. But, you know, my gut tells me we're going to push up, but you never know. We could end up making a bigger channel down there. We've been up here, you know, a bit now. At some point, we could break out of this range, but see, from here, we push straight up and here. But this one is a bit different, I think, because of this overshoot. So there was always a possibility we could come down. That's possible. A leg and a leg. But you can't go short here, I don't think, at the moment, because up until now we're ranging and we've come off the tops, we've come off the bottoms, so I just can't take it. I did think after that overshoot we may come down and have another attempt. But volume is so low, isn't it? Overshoot the bottom of the range, push up, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you'd think leg up and leg up, but after the overshoot, sometimes you'll have a correction. Sometimes you'll have an outright reversal. Sometimes it'll just do the same here and continue down. But that, to me, looks like it's just making another attempt to go lower. And we've got a little double bottom there. So I'd have said it's going to go up, but, you know, you never know whether there is something else looming in the background. But I wouldn't go long or short here at the moment, really. Same again, it's in the middle. My experience is I get chopped up in the middle. If I go long off the bottom or short up the top, at least I've got a fighting chance. Okay, well, it sorts itself out, folks. How long have we been going? Nearly 2 hours. I'm just going to make a quick cup of coffee, and I'll be back in about 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, interesting. Overshoot, are we retesting? Or have we got a bigger channel? It's a possibility. Leg down. But if it is a channel, the fact that it's bounced there, I don't know. It's also a leg and a leg. What I will say as well is on the NQ, we've got a bit of congestion with a breakout which looks like it may fail. If this fails and pushes back into here, but we may have a leg down, a few attempts to go higher followed by another leg down, so this could go down some more actually, so scrub that last leg down. Yeah, this could come down lower, so I am not thinking about going along here. Now there's probably going to be some stops along there. Certainly there, maybe there. So let's see if we have a leg and a leg. There's a bit more distance to come down on that NQ, so if we get a leg and a leg, we come down here somewhere. Leg. Touch. Leg. Still got to be careful. Yeah, just looking at that on NQ chart quickly, we've come down, we've created a bullish bar there which is triggered, so that's pretty much going to get stopped out. So I think the next target is here, certainly here. So it does look like we get a leg and a leg, leg and a leg, leg and a leg. So quite likely here eventually. Just might be one of those days today that's a little bit clearer, that plays out what it looks like. Sometimes it's considering it is a little bit choppy looking, it is readable. Leg, leg. The Bulls are definitely defending. Yeah, they are. I think that's the line in the sand, isn't it? In fact, we've actually bounced off there. So after those 2 legs up, maybe we'd make a few attempts to go lower. I think it may go lower. I think it probably will. Because the NQ looks like it's coming down. But I think going long here is risky. If it does break below, it may turn quickly as well. Because it's so far from that EMA, sometimes it'll take out the stops, won't it? And then it'll... I've taken trades like this where I've gone short below there because I think there'll be loads of stops. And sometimes it drops quickly and reverses. We're quite a bit away from this here, so let's have a look. We're through there, but sometimes trader stops might be a bit lower down. Yeah, so broke below there by 1 tick and reversed. That's why I've given up taking those trays that I think are going to drop quickly, because that would have triggered me and that would have stopped me out. So what I'm seeing here is we've had a push up here. We've made one, 2 attempts to go lower. So that I consider as 1 attempt. This was just another retest, but this is a push down from the top, 1 and 2. So are we going to push up now? Let's have a look on bookmap. What is that showing? Anything interesting? There is some big orders just above that 300, isn't there? Yeah, bookmap to me. I don't know it as well as I should do, really. Just even if you don't use bookmap to trade, it's useful to identify certain areas. But there's a lot under there, isn't there? I need to actually pay proper attention to reading it. Just can't take a trade here, unfortunately. There is a bullish bar off there, which triggered it. Well, it dropped a tick below everything else here, but it didn't seem to make a difference. There's going to be some short stops, some long stops around here. Obviously not a tick below, maybe a little bit more. But there is a bullish bar which is triggered. I'm just staying out of this. If we have another leg down, kiss goodbye to that one. Yeah, it's just a bit unclear at the moment. Market makers are Norwegian. Trade today. Isn't it Norway's National Day or something, isn't it? Keeptree's from Norway, and he mentioned it yesterday, or something national. I think it's National Norway Day or something, isn't it? I don't know. Is that where they all sit around and eat that stinking fish? Anybody tried that stuff? Is that from Norway or is it some Swedish? I don't know. Somewhere around about that area. So there may be a channel there. It's possible. We do seem to be hitting an area there. It is there, is it? Yeah. We do seem to be hitting an area there, whether it make a difference or not. But to me, if that is a bigger channel, we're in this. I don't know is the answer. It may be, it may not be. Whether it'll help or not. We got a leg with an overshoot and a push up and a retest. We actually, yeah, I don't know. I got no idea at the moment. Anybody watching a fight tomorrow? It's all right for you guys in the US. It'll be about what? Early evening tea time, won't it? I think it's about 11 o'clock UK time, I believe. Why they have a boxing fight in a boxing match at 1 o'clock in the morning, I do not know. In Saudi. God, it's been embarrassing, isn't it, watching John Fury? He's made a bit of a tit of himself, hasn't he? You think he'd be the one that'd be fighting? 7 more accounts today, mate. Good on you, lad. Good on you, mate. Let's go. Yeah, I'd like to see him win, actually. You had 6 already. Good on you, mate. So, in fact, you got the same as me. Well, you got 1 more than me at the moment, but I'll have 1 more to you tomorrow. Well, Monday, I've got 2 more coming. Good on you, mate. So, GAT's obviously helping you. So, good. Good for you, mate. Good for you. I love hearing about people doing well because it does inspire people who are struggling at the time. Some people don't, but I do. Because we're all on this journey together, really. There's no competition, is there? You know, it's not like only using your code. I appreciate that, mate. Thank you. Would have blown them anyway. Yeah, so you've only got to blow, what is it, 3 accounts, and you pay for that GAT. I know it's a bit pricey, isn't it? If you obviously it costs money anyway, isn't it? I think it's about £300 UK. I think it's about €350, which is the best part of $380, I think, isn't it? But if it saves you 3 accounts, you've got your money. But I mean, 3 accounts is over $400, so it's a no-brainer. But you can put in, if anybody doesn't know about it, It's called GAT, Guardian Angel Trader, and it's a piece of software that attaches to NinjaTrader, and you can set parameters, and it won't let you change. If you say trade between these hours, it won't let you trade after those hours, and there are all sorts of bits, gizmos, and gadgets with it. You can set a timeout after a loss, so you can't come in and take a trade. You could even get it to show hide away the Ninja script, so you can't go in and delete it and trade. The only competition is yourself. Absolutely. But that's what I mean. It's not like if I'm making money, you're not. It's not like we're encroaching on each other's businesses, are we? So that's the thing I like about trading. There's loads of support out there, and I've used loads of it at times. Like people have messaged me after I've had a tough day, and given me a bit of a pep talk, and it does help you. Some people think of this tough love stuff, but I don't. This is not something you're doing on purpose. It's just part and parcel of it. Everybody goes through the emotions. So I think a bit of a pep talk is a better idea. Give someone a little bit of support, and because there's nothing worse when you're feeling down in the dumps and people give you an ear bashing. Lose $1, someone wins $1. It certainly does owe some. You seem to be making a few dollars at the moment. You are, mate. Fair enough. You seem to be doing well. Andrew, you've done well from quite early, haven't you? You seem to have taken to it like a duck to water. You must be secretly female. That's what it is. You've got patience. Okay, so look, we've had a bullish bar up there and it seems to have taken off. It is early days yet because there's still maybe a channel there. No. I tend to think women will be better than this because guys just by their nature can be a little bit more aggressive. Obviously there's exceptions to the rules, but guys can be a little bit more gung-ho and aggressive, and they might go in head down, balls deep, without thinking so much, whereas women my wife tends to be a little bit slower and thinks a little bit more than me. I tend to just if something's broke, we try and punch it or kick it as opposed to reading the instructions. We're sort of hands-on, aren't we? We don't hang around. If it doesn't work, we got to kick it or thump it or do something with it. I'm just going to get rid of that for a minute. So, can I take that down any further? You feminist, mate. I'm just saying this just in case there's any women watching. I got to play to the crowd, mate. See. What are we doing here? Okay, so we definitely got 2 legs. I did think there may be a channel, but there is a lot of red down here on bookmap, so maybe that's stopping it from coming down. As we've pushed up and we've made these attempts, there's bound to be some stops below here, isn't there? Thinking that we're going to take off. So let's just think about this logically. We sort of opened, didn't we? We had a couple of legs up and a big drop. We've pushed up. We seem to be in this range, but to me, we've made 2 obvious moves down. 1 and 2. I'm just talking like this because this is how Penguin would say it. Bob, how you doing, bud? How long does it take for a payment to be approved? Depends when you put it in, mate. Depends how many people. Depends where you want on the list. When did you put it in? What day are we today? 17th. Oh, please tell me it's still not pending for between the 1st and the 5th. If it is, you need to get on to them. Oh no, tell a lie. Sorry, it's the 17th. if you've put it in, I put mine in literally within the first 15 minutes of the first of the month, and it still took me till the 6th of the month. So it may take a bit of time. It's under, when it says under review, does it say pending? If it says pending, it's fine. I've not seen under review. It says under review. Just under review. See, someone else jumped forward here. I've only seen pending or approved. I've not seen under review. Don't let me worry you there, mate, but just double check that. Check you're not thinking, you're not just confusing under review with pending, and you know sometimes it means the same thing, but all mine have said pending and then approved. So just under review. I'm not sure, mate. But it is only the 17th, so it's early. You know, they may take a bit more time. The longer they take, somebody might decide to trade one of the accounts and blow it. So maybe they do sit on it a bit. But I know they are busy at the moment because of... although these two accounts, these evaluations I pulled in this morning, 3 or 4 minutes they popped up. So, but they've obviously got these offers on. So whenever they put these offers on, volume, you know, comes up a little bit, and they're probably so just keep an eye on it, mate. Something may have been flagged. It may not be an issue. Just keep an eye on it. But it is early yet. As I say, I put mine in on the 1st, and I didn't hear anything until the 6th. Sam put his at exactly the same time as me, and he got his about 3 or 4 days before me. So, is it your first payout? Yeah, I don't know. I've only seen pending and approved. It's your second, okay. Do you remember what it said before, Bob, on your first? But anyway, yeah, this does look like 2 attempts to go lower. 1 attempt and a retest. 2nd attempt and a retest, or whatever it is. So, pending then approved, and yours says under review. Okay. Something may have flagged up. I don't know. Have you done anything different? I wouldn't worry about it. Just because it says under review just means they may be, you know, we know they've sort of upped the ante with the rules a little bit. So is it just one payment, Bob? Is it not multiple accounts? Yeah, just keep an eye on it, mate. I wouldn't worry too much. The thing is, you can't help but worry, really, when you go that. But that's not what you want, really, leading up to the weekend, is it? Keep us updated, mate. 1 payment. Yeah, you think they just let the 1 payments just slide without messing around. Surely, if you're going to start to look into strategies that people are following the rules, you want to do them on the bigger payments, really, not the 2,000. It may be nothing, mate. As they've updated these rules, they may just have worded it differently. They may just word it as under review. I wouldn't stress about it, mate. Just keep your eye on it. Fingers crossed. Touch wood, you'll be right. Sean, how you doing, mate? Did you trade the news on your evals today? We didn't have any news, mate, today. No, I traded the open. What I actually did, mate, I'll show you. We had what looked like that, which looked really nice, and we had this channel with a break. I took, I think, $1,000 on the lower high there, and I took the remainder there. So I just trade them into. The thing is, when the market opens, it moves quite quick, and you can soon suck up 6 points. So that's what I did, bud. We seem to be respecting this. So yeah, took some there. Well, the lower high, I think. So that's what I did. But now we've had no news really. What are the rules changes? Well, apparently we've had these rules before, but they've just maybe take them a bit more seriously. The main one is if you have, let's say, for instance, let's say you buy the market and you go for 1 point, you can't have any more than a 3-point stop. So if your stop can't be any more than 3 points, and I think what they're doing is stopping people taking massive risks to try and capture a little bit of money. I mean, you could buy here, couldn't you? Put your stop down here and it could, so I believe that's what it is. That's the main one. OCO orders as well, there's a change to those on PAs only. None of this is log into Apex account shown. There is a need to accept it. Karina, log into your Apex account and show there is a need to be accepted it. Okay, so Bob, have a look in your account, bud. Oh, sorry. No, that's nothing to do with you. You're on about the news. Yeah, if you log into your account, it'll usually give you a prompt and tell you that things are changing. There's a few different rules. I wouldn't really worry too much about them. If you trade in price action, as long as you're not going for, a small, a few ticks at 10 contracts, with a stop down here like this, clearly trying to push, take a risk. I wouldn't really worry about it. Apparently, most of these rules we've already had. So I won't really worry about it. But yeah, if you log into your account, you'll get a little pop-up that says you just got to accept it. I think people are, taking big risks and getting payments. Have more employees for watching us than for watching you, Karina. So we don't do crazy gambling. Yeah, there are a lot of people, and I know for a fact, 'cause I've done it myself, taking stupid risks. If you revenge trade, something goes wrong, and you try and scrappily get 3 or 4 ticks with 10 contracts and stick your stop down here. I'm probably not going to make much money. No. I wonder if some of that OCO stuff was prompted by his stream. Because I know he was concerned about people knowing what he did. In all fairness, I think the safest thing for him to do would have been to stop streaming. If he was doing something a bit unorthodox, but he traded without a stop. Now, in all honesty, he makes a lot of money out of it. He does well at it, but I think he's the exception to the rule. Because usually if you're not trading with a stop and you're willing to let your account get blown, it's not really the most sensible way to trade, is it? So I wonder if there was any thought process into him. I wonder if it was anything to do with him, why they made some changes. But all he's going to have to do is put a stop in, and as long as he's got a stop in. But the trouble is, I think he usually goes for, does he go for like about 22 ticks or 25 ticks? So, which is, how many points? So he goes for a small move like that with an open stop. The trouble is he can't put his stop now any more than 3 times that away. So that's actually quite a tight stop to the way he trades. So I don't know how it's going to affect him. He thinks it's because of him. It may be. It may be. It's ironic why they've mentioned OCO orders, and really there's been a big buzz lately, hasn't there? Because the trouble is, when you got someone saying I've earned 200,000 the first 3 months, people naturally want to find out what he's doing, and a few other traders started having a go at it, didn't they? Kellyanne and Volatility Trader, and probably a bunch of others as well. So I think they've just realised he's making a lot of money, and maybe we should keep on top of it. Don't get me wrong, if he had a legitimate setup which was safe, a normal setup, there's nothing they can do about that. You can't, just because someone's making money, you can't just all of a sudden put in rules that stop making money. You can't do that. But they're just stopping big risk taking, really, and I get it. You want people to make money genuinely by trading, not by taking big risks. Although we've all done it, I certainly have. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, mate, if he's earned £250,000. They're gonna at least, if there are big big traders or big payouts, they're going to look at their strategy because if it's a good strategy, they may think they can make money out of copying it. But they're going to look at it, aren't they? If they're paying 200,000 every few months, and if it's legit and he trades in a normal, sensible way, then there's nothing they can do. They may then say you can go onto a live account, or maybe part of that's the vetting procedure, because you don't want to be paying people $60,000-$80,000 a month with at least finding out how they're doing it, because if they're good at what they do, it may be a way to start copying them. Our partner was making a shit ton of money, but Apex can't copy him because always, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, ordinarily, if you said to someone, I don't use a stop, I just use the account if it gets blown, it's not a sensible way of doing it, is it? Although, in all fairness, it does work for him. I'm surprised he's as good as he is. The trouble is, if you make, say, let's say you make $260 a day, you've got to get to $2,600 to get a payout. So you've got to do that for 10 winning days in a row. If you get it wrong, your account's lost. That doesn't make sense. What's going on here? So this is interesting. Is this just a bit of a pullback? Are we pushing up? But yeah. If he's not on a live account, it's still a simulated account, so they're paying him that $250,000 they paid him are out of their pocket, basically. So there's bound to be a time where they look at a trader and go, okay, so this trader's making this money, what do we do? He goes for 7-6 on Q, gets into no stop loss. Yeah, trouble is, if he puts a stop loss in now, it's going to have to be very close to that, which is going to make it really difficult for him to earn money. If he enters, I don't know, here, and sometimes it'll come right down here before it goes up for his small amount. Down here is 3 times his risk. So if it does come down here, so I don't know what he's going to do. He can trade his own account. He's certainly earned a decent enough money to be able to fund his own account. But I do believe if he's made 250,000, he's buying that Porsche, or he's put money down on that Porsche. That isn't going to be cheap, is it? And then by the time Uncle Sam takes his chunk, I don't know what he'll be in the higher tax bracket. Over here, you're paying about 45%, maybe a little bit more. So I don't know what the US is like. But you ain't going to have much of it left. Well, somebody mentioned yesterday, I'm pretty sure I heard him say he does trade his own account, but yeah, you wouldn't think so. The trouble is, to have a $2,500 drawdown in your own account, you've got to have $2,500 of your own money. To get a $2,500 drawdown in an Apex account, you've got to cough at $140. So there's a lot more risk. There's 10 times the risk trading your own money. So yeah, I see what your point there, Kev. It does seem like madness, doesn't it? What is going on here? Yeah, it's just too early to do that, really, isn't it? But we've come off the bottoms. We've had a leg down, overshoot, so we had a natural break, and we've come down, bounced twice. Nice big strong bullish bar. And we've pushed up with a small break back to the EMA. Got a message saying they are suspending your accounts as your trades cannot be replicated. Interesting. Okay. At some point, when you're earning enough money, they're going to look at your accounts to copy them. And his accounts, in all honesty, I mean, don't get me wrong, he makes a lot of money, he does well at it, so he is the exception to the rule, but they can't replicate those trades with an open, with no stop. So Yeah, actually, that makes more sense that they have looked into that. Because it's not a safe trading way. It's a very aggressive. Don't get me wrong, he does well at it, but it is very aggressive. And yeah, they're not gonna go down that road, are they? So I don't know whether they'll say he's got to take his money and run or not. I don't know, but I feel a bit sorry for him because, I mean, whether it was anything to do with streaming and people talking about it, but I think if you earn enough money, they're going to have something built into their system that if someone's earning so much money, they're going to review it and say, okay, is this something we can copy? So I don't think it's anything to do with streaming. If anything, seeing him streaming, people have had a go at it and blown a load more accounts. So I'd say they probably made a bit more money off seeing him, but I just think it's naturally part of a business. If someone's making money, you're going to look at it, aren't you? Top 30 for sure on Apex, yeah. It's a shame, really, if they do stop him doing it, because whether they can implement these new rules now with the accounts he's currently got, I don't know, but I know he did lose a load of them, so I don't think he's got a lot left. But whether he'll move to a different prop firm or not, I don't know. But I don't think there's many where you can trade 20 accounts and he won't have a cat and owl's chance making the same sort of money unless he's got 10, 15 or 20 accounts on the go. Is this going to come up or is it going to come down? Let's have a quick look at this. We've got this leg down with a push up. Channel down, push up, push up. I wouldn't be surprised if this comes down for this measured leg. We go up, we come down, we go up, we come down, we go up, we come down. It's a bit harder to read. The ES is a bit more clear, isn't it? Well, it's about as clear as a range can get, really. There's not a lot of setups. There is a bit of chop, but it's readable. Leg and a leg, leg and a leg, leg and a leg. It is, it's readable. But unfortunately, when it's like this, really, our areas are down here and up here, and it's only been up here. Well, to catch it a third time, you've had to wait till nearly 4 o'clock UK time, and so there's not a lot of windows for a trade. And I've just been chopped up in here before. You go along there thinking we're pushing up, triggers just stopped you out. Same again, you go low there, trigger stops you out. So it's all around that midline, isn't it? So it's actually quite geometrically correct at the moment. Yeah, that makes sense, that does. Yeah, message saying your accounts, your trades are not replicated. Yeah. In fact, most people would look at that system or hear about it and say it's complete madness, although he works for him. But he did say he'd taken time to do it. I mean, I have heard of these open range breakouts, but I think it's the fact that he doesn't use a stop and he's willing to let the account go. But the trouble is, if he's taking a very small piece of the market and he can only have his stop 3 times that's going to make that setup a lot harder and I can't see how it's going to be worth doing. If he only takes 7 ticks, so many ticks, he can only have a 21 tick. And sometimes it quite often goes against him for a while first before it works. So I can't see how he's going to make any money out of that, which is a damn shame. Is this thing gone to sleep or is it moving? Open range trade, it goes. Bracket orders not allowed him anymore. Yeah, see, it's you know about the OCO order, aren't you? I use that on if I'm trading the news on the valuation, but they ain't worried about evaluations, not yet anyway. I wonder if they are going to start changing the rules with the valuations. But they pay a hell of a lot of money out, but they seem to be quite happy to talk about it. You know, we pay X amount of money. They don't seem to have a major issues. But, you know, you've got to have rules. Of course you have when you're a business. But, you know, if people are playing by the rules and they're a legitimate trader, you have to pay them. As soon as you start stopping traders with legitimate trades is the time you start to collapse. But, you know, there are going to be people who are taking very risky stuffs. And if a business can't replicate your setup, then it's not worth them having you on board, is it? Why pay you $200,000 in 3 months if they can't make any money out of you? I think it's bullshit. And see, genius. Yeah, I've never really done any of that, to be honest with you. I don't know whether it's classed as risky, is it? I mean, I always thought it was something you do more when you hear that a lot in crypto, don't you? But I know some people, if a trade goes against them, they actually buy into it more, don't they? Which is, but the trouble is, there's so many ways of trading the markets. That is DCA. You're on about dollar cost averaging. DCAing. Yeah. Yeah, you hear that a lot in crypto, don't you? Buying at regular intervals as opposed to jumping in one go. It's supposed to be a really good way of investing, isn't it? Buying at regular times. That way you catch these. You don't get lumped in at, you know, you buy one Bitcoin now, it drops down 7 or 8%, at least if you're buying bits as it goes down and up. It's supposed to be a good way to average in. Bitcoin's been struggling lately, but it has had a bit of a pump, hasn't it? We had that initial push up to 74,000. Everyone was going, oh, that's it. This is the bull run now. Everything's going to go crazy. And it didn't really. Unfortunately, nothing you can do, really. It's too dangerous. You go long, it triggers you, stops you out. You go short, it triggers you, stops you out. You broke all-time highs. That's it. Oh, initially, yeah. Well, it got up to 74,000, didn't it? A couple of months ago. But we're up to 67,000 now. But if you remember, last time it went up, we pushed up and then we had a 50% drop. And then it pushed up again to all-time highs, and then obviously slowly came down. But it's the altcoins I'm waiting on. Just trying to get some of my money back for the idiotic moves I made 2 years ago. Mind you, I did okay on SHIB. I bought SHIB during the end of the last bull run. It had a big pump, then it went up to $60 billion. And I bought about 600 quid's worth or $600 worth and sold it for about 3,000. But I lost a chunk on other stuff. I bought Shiryu Inu, listened to some YouTuber. And I bought Saitama as well, which is now STC. I bought that at about £600. And they had this big Las Vegas Open evening, which was supposed to be launching this the app. And it went up to 2,000, and then they made a statement saying they weren't, the app wasn't ready, and the thing tanked. So, but ETH has been stuck on. Yeah, ETH never really dropped that much, did it? I mean, even something as good, and I rate Solana. Even Solana was about $260 at the height of the last bull run. And that went down to $8 at one point. I had 40 of them, which I paid about $18 for. And I ended up selling them for some reason. But Who knew we were going to have that massive pump up to $200 from $8 to $200 in a matter of 4 or 5 months, 4 months, something like that. I'd heard of these pumps, but I got more into crypto during the end of the bull run, which was probably the worst time to get in. But I've given myself a little bit of knowledge. Yeah, see, this is starting to look like Trap City. This, you don't know when it's going to go up or down. It could do anything. But yeah, he's been stuck. I think ETH went down. Did it go below $1,000 at one point? I can't remember now. But Bitcoin went down, so I think it was about $15,000 Bitcoin went to at its low, didn't it? But I got some H bar as well, which isn't doing much. I got some what's the other one? I can't remember. I've got a bunch of them. I've got a 7 or 8. I got some H bar. I got no Solana now, unfortunately. Bit too late to get into Solana. Yeah, got some ADA, Cardano. I've got a bit of Polkadot. I've got a bit of Link. Got a little bit of Matic. Got some H bar, some Saitama. Did have some CRO as well at one point. Seeing under review is the new normal review. It's not a new thing. I bet you feel relaxed now, don't you? I bet you just felt like a weight off your shoulder. That would have knackered up your weekend. That would have done. Under review is not. Oh, good. I'm pleased about that for you, mate, because there's nothing worse than sitting on something and you're thinking, oh, something doesn't sound right. Yeah. Your weekend is just going to improve. Just improved. Yeah, it is a bit frustrating when you're waiting. $2,000, mate. I'll be surprised if they even entertain looking at it, in all honesty. You'll be safe. What the hell are we doing here? Shame about that one. I think that possibly would have been the trade of the day. That might not have been terrible, but I think that was really good because you're trapping some shorts there. Channel down, 2 legs up. We didn't quite get down to the lows. There may have still been some shorts in there, so I like that. Oh, Marco's up to the finished already. Yeah, so Marco marked that, and he marked that one, and he marked that one as well, and that one. I'm not sure about that one. After that overshoot, you can get a reversal, can't you? That one, same again, not sure, because although we've had one attempt, we may have a little pullback and push a bit higher because of this. So that one I wouldn't have taken. That one I would have done. Mind you, I don't think Marco takes them all. He just marks what he sees. I think he's marked 4 trades. I'm pretty sure he doesn't take that many. Yes, he's still got that as this. I'm not sure about that. There's still 4 touches there, and 1 there, and 1 there. I'm not sure. See whether we're going to make a drop out of this. We could just continue sideways. Let's have a look at that daily again. What had changed? Yeah, so there's that daily. We got that bearish bar. We've triggered above there. So ordinarily on a normal chart, if I took that trade at that high like that, I'd expect that to get stopped out. Especially as we're so far, we've got a leg, little bit of sideways, another leg. We're so far away. We've broken all-time highs, pushed above it, and then dropped. So that, to me, I'd be nervous about expecting that to go high when we're so far from that EMA. So whether that indicates it more likely come down, I got no idea. But that looks, in fact, didn't Max say it's pretty overbought? So it'd be interesting to see what happens throughout the day. Okay, I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll be a second. Accumulating fuel to go up. I'm waiting for a bear fake out at the low of the day. You pee faster than you sit. We got an ensuite. It's just next to the swimming pool. In between the swimming pool and the gym and the cinema. I'm only kidding. I'm going TV hunting tomorrow, looking for a 65-inch screen. Yeah, shame about that. I had my focus on down, really. It's a shame about that. Measured move might take out bull stops, then go higher. Yeah. See, I'd say that stop's probably still intact. I mean, if you're going to have a stop there and you're planning on it moving up, you wouldn't have your stop there, would you? It'd be further down here. And sometimes when these things break down, it takes 3 or 4 ticks before it starts to move. So yeah, mind you, if you're planning on a move up here, maybe your stop's even closer to here. I don't know. Who knows? Mind you, having said that, looking at that daily, that's only really a break after that. You don't know whether it's going to trigger that thing, which I think it has, yeah, and it's going to push up and stop it out before it decides to make a comeback. See, that little strategy that I'm playing on at the moment plays on something exact that. Nice small little trend, push up, you get a bearish bar, triggers, pushes up. So I don't know. I don't think I'm just wondering whether I'd rather go long or short up there. Would I rather go long above here or short? I think I'd probably feel more comfortable trying to take out these highs. But you never know. It may come back later. It may be down here. Closing the charts, haven't I? Yeah, you too, bud. Have a good weekend. I know UK is lovely this weekend. I know Sunday we got beautiful weather. I'm quite looking forward to the weekend, actually. I used to hate weekends because I was just so obsessed with trading. But now I look forward to the weekends off. Only 10-point range all day. Yeah. It is a bit frustrating, but it is quite readable. I wouldn't have taken that one, although Marco marked it. A failure there. I was hoping that red bar would trigger above there. If that was the case, then I'd have had a go at a short there, and it did work eventually. And that one, I think, was a nice trade. I had my focus on something different coming down there with the break in it, so I wasn't even focused on that. I always had me eyes on something else. So, but there's that one today that I can definitely see. I was hoping there was going to be something from there. That came down lovely, but that one, leg and a leg, I don't think it's a bad trade. My only slight concern is whether we were working down. I had that sort of drawn at the time, and I know there was a lot of liquidity down here, so my concerns were that going long is still in a possible downtrend. It's working in that top tier, so which is another reason why I left it, but depends how you look at things. Apart from that, I can't see a lot else really. But that one I think was a nice trade and quite a clear one as well. Unfortunately, I was just had my focus on something else. But it's quite clear we're making a leg and a leg, leg and a leg, push up, leg and a leg, leg and a leg for the break, leg and a leg down. So it's, you know, it's relatively smooth as well. It's not as there are bits of congestion, but it's not usually as choppy and as unpredictable. You know, it's quite clear. But unfortunately, that's been the general picture over the last few weeks. The setups have dropped a little bit. Matt sort of mentions, you know, down to a little bit of volatility tends to make it better, and obviously during COVID and that sort of thing, obviously there was a lot of volatility. So, but I don't know. I mean, it's been like this before for a while, and then all of a sudden you'll get a few weeks of good setups. We did a few weeks ago. I had 3 setups, 3 trades in 30 minutes, real nice ones. When are you going to pass a couple of 250s? Well, I've said I'm going to have a go at one next week. Don't get me wrong, I can't do $16,000. It would take me a month of Sundays to trade that, but I'm going to have a go at one of them on the news. I think it was Thursday. Was it James or Jay mentioned it yesterday? I'll start the stream about 1:15, and I'll have a go at the news. You know, I'll work out the various. I'll take the 27 contract, and I'll have just a pop at it just for a bit of fun. If it only costs me $85, yeah, it's worth a go. But the trouble is trying to get. It's a lot of profit to get $16,000. But if you'd have taken one in the news a few days ago, that would have clearly worked. In one bar, it would have clearly worked. So I think it's Thursday, but I'll double check next week. And I'll start the stream about 1:15, and I'll have a go at one with an OCO order and just for a bit of fun. They're only $16, aren't they? So I'll do one for a bit of fun and see how I can. But if I can grab one for that price, one will just blend in with the rest. Then I'll just, you know, I'll trade that maybe 4 contract and just forget about it. Just let it tick over. So I've decided not to take $2,000 from each account as soon as it hits it now, because it's a shame really to get all these accounts and then take 3/4 of the money out and leave myself barely above the water. So when I get above $2,600, I'm probably going to take $1,000, or I may get it to $3,600 and take $1,000. So I've still got $2,600, and then hopefully then, even after $1,000, if I'm left with $2,600, hopefully I might be able to take $1,000 per month out, and that only gives me a profit target of around about $250 a week per account, which should be relatively attainable. I might use 1 or 2 of the accounts just to take a little bit out, just to top things up, but the majority of them, 90% of them, then I want to let build up, because it's a shame really to work and to get them and then to take $2,600. Now, if you've got 20 accounts, you take $40,000 out. Great, it's fantastic. But that don't last that long, and then you've got $500 left in each account. And if you blow that, you've got to start all over again. So I think the sensible thing to do is just to leave myself at least a little bit of a cushion. there is a bit of a short there, but unfortunately I'm not taking that. Let's have a look. No, it's not really, is it? I thought it was a second entry. It's kind of 2 legs up and bearish, but we've actually broke below there, but it does look like a channel with a little break, and I like the way it's sat there, but it's just a little bit too... It's not really... It's against my strategy rules, although it does look like 2 legs up. I prefer to take my trades from the bottom if I take any, so the last thing I want to do is wait for 3 hours and end up taking a dumb trade, but I don't think it was terrible. We got 2 legs down. It's clearly 2 little legs up, but how far has it gone? I think it's probably done 2 points, has it? Oh no, it hasn't even done 2 points. That's what will happen if your payout request got denied. It's a good question, actually. Have you been? I haven't, mate. No, I haven't had a lot, to be honest. I've only had $14,000 over the last sort of year and a half, to be honest with you. I wouldn't be happy because, as far as I'm concerned, I'm probably about as safe as you can get. I go for 2 points. My risk never more than about 3.5. So I'm well within the parameters. You know, I've taken about 2 trades this week. So I don't take a lot of trades. So they're not going to start doing that. If they do, people will start to walk. And not only that, I've got, 3 hours of a video every day showing me trading. You can clearly see I'm not doing anything stupid. I've got a clear strategy. I'm following the rules. So I can't see it being an issue. But I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. But I'm about as safe and as predictable this style of trading as you can get, really. Just going for 2.5 points. Occasionally, if it goes sideways, you'll get out for a tick or so or break even. But that's trading in general. There are times where you get out. I have 4 PAs with 14 days. One day I traded $2,000 profit. See, so theoretically, if you're following the rules, you'd need $7,000 in that account to withdraw it. But I have heard people saying they've had big wins and still got payouts. So, I mean, if you put in for a payout, the worst they can do is say you need to trade longer. I mean, they don't take the money off you. It just means you'll have to that 30% rule. So you'd have to get about $7,000 in your account to get a payment. But put a payment in. They can only say no, trade a bit longer. But if you're only getting a payment of $2,000, they may not even screen those. You can't screen everyone, I don't think. But yeah, it happens sometimes, mate. I tell you what, I've had it before. I've done that myself before. I've revenge traded before. I got down, nearly lost it all, and I got above it, and they still paid me. It's 5k right now. Okay, so that's a sensible amount to have in your account, mate. That is. So you only need another $1,500, don't you? Something like that, $2,000. But if you got 5,000 in there, mate, you sound like you're doing something right. So we got. I don't know what we're doing here. Okay, what time is it? Okay, I'm going to do another 15 minutes, I think, and then I'm going to knock on there. It'll be done 3 hours. It's not the easiest day. It is readable, but unfortunately, the shorts need to come at the top, and there wasn't really any longs from the bottom. That's the only one I can see. That one wasn't sure about. Okay, so that's eaten all those stops up. So that's picked up all that liquidity. I had a feeling that we were getting lower and lower, and it was likely to do that. Let's have a look at that. Leg and leg. Is that nice? Is that a nice long? I don't know. We've clearly cleaned out all that. It's too big a risk though, isn't it? Oh, it's only 8 ticks. A leg and a leg. So that measured move on the NQ clearly worked. This did look like it was working its way down, and then we had that quick push down. Measured move made. So clearly a leg and a leg. So let's have a look now. Got a runner, have you, bud? Oh, you've just pushed straight down in it, then, haven't you? I think you're probably out, aren't you? Where's your 31275, 31275? Oh, you hit it, didn't you? Oh, you actually bounced off it. Ah, you're yeah, you're one. You've actually bounced off it, haven't you? Unless you've already taken it. Good on you, mate. Went for the measured move, yeah. Good on you, mate. Good on you. I wish I had the nerve to hold trades. I really do. I get scared if it goes above 2 points. But, you know, with experience and time, when you get better at reading the markets, and you may, if you can see what's going on there, I kind of liked it because we had 2 legs up, but it's just lack of confidence that may keep me out of stuff like that. Euros. Confident. Yeah. There are times where I may decide to hold that for a bit. You didn't get a huge amount off it, but was that it? Yeah. I went for 5 points. I mean, even if you got it just below the bottom, I mean, if you pass those, you're going to eat some stops and have a big push. So even if you got 4 points out of it. So now we've picked up all that liquidity. Are we going to come back to the top and continue down now? As I say, we could do. We've got that bearish bar there, so we certainly could pull back a chunk of this, couldn't we? Or it could push up. I find sometimes on a Friday I come back late and we get a massive rally in the markets up here somewhere. So it may do this a lot of the day. We may break out the top, bounce a couple of times, and by the end of the day, it's usually around about 8 o'clock, half 8 UK time, market just decides to go off on one and it just rockets up. Pushes up, pull back, pushes up, pull back. Took out the liquidity below, yeah, it did. Take it from there, did you? Yeah. Yeah, spot on. That trend line I drew, just a protection for both sides, usually 2 legs. Yeah, if you can read these legs and how they work, they can be really productive, can't they? Really lucrative. And it has been quite predictable today, isn't it? These legs have been obvious. Obvious 2 legs down, obvious 2 legs up, obvious 2 legs down, obvious 2 bigger legs down. So we got a leg and a leg and a leg and a leg up. But yeah, some days they are really readable. See, it did this a couple of days ago and Mac marked it. It cleared everything off, had a nice big rejection, and that's clear rejection, that, isn't it? And off it went. And later in the day, it was up here somewhere. Well, I've gone along there, but I don't want to pick a bottom. Yeah, that's the thing. But it's weird. We've broken the lows here. You just don't know, though, dear. Sometimes it may trigger and come down. But after we've had, it is a leg and a leg, and we've had a break out of this little channel. So, but yeah, you're a bottom picker there. But the trouble is, I mean, if you pick that and it works, I don't know, 60% of the time, and you get up here something, it could. It did this the other day. But also, there's always a possibility with that bearish bar on the daily, we could have a leg down, sideways, followed by another leg down. There's always a possibility because we've been up again. We hit new highs here, and broke them again, and maybe we're having a leg, some sideways and a leg. This is all sort of hypothetical, but based on what that dailies look like, and we certainly could. But we triggered it, and we've been it's almost a doji that. We've been up the sideways all day, so it doesn't seem to be in a rush to come down. So whether, when we get towards the end of the day, whether they'll have a rally and push above that. But I'm just thinking, if I was to take that trade as a price action trader, would I rather be in the short or in the long to break these highs? I think I'd rather be in the long. Having said that, it could come down a bit first, but it doesn't seem to be in a rush to come down. Hey Sam, how you doing, bud? Are you had a better day, mate, have you? Nothing for me yet. I haven't quite broken below the 2 red legs shown yesterday. Yeah. What's your day been like, Sam? Look at that push up. Yeah, all good. Took a couple of scalps. Good on you, mate. Good on. That's a good number in it, a couple of trades. I think if you can get 2 wins, it's a good time to knock it on the head for the weekend. Then I'll be happy to get 1 win at the moment. Quite happy. Good on you, mate. Good on you. Yeah, you want that. To be honest with you, I want to be green or 0 on a Friday. I don't mind being 0. It's not the easiest day. That is a trade I wish I'd have taken, because I think that was a good setup. Marco marked that. I wasn't a massive fan of that. There was a lower high, but so that might not have been a bad trade to take. He may even mark, Fridays and Mondays are always risky. Yeah, they are, aren't they? Yeah, that lower, it's gone a bit too far for a lower high, but we've pushed out. Maybe trap some short, I don't know. So touch. Let's see what goes on here. Let's just tidy this up a bit. Yes, I've noticed on Fridays, sometimes I'll have a look at the market later, and sometimes you come back and it's up here. We get a real quick rally and it just goes up, down a bit, up, down, and it just moves so quick. If you can catch that and get a setup. But look, I mean, that's about as rangy as you can get, really. Yeah, you do, mate. What I found is when I started making a few, I'd make one, blow a few over a couple of months. Then I made 2 together. When you make some money, you feel good, and then you start to get a couple of losses, and it gets in your head, and you start to get a bit risky, and then you blow a couple, and you go. I went through that phase of being a little bit frustrated, winning 1. Blowing 6, and I felt angry all the time and frustrated and pissed off, and sooner or later it slowly fizzled out. But you do go through these stages. It's almost like evolution, isn't it? It's just how you develop as a trader. But we all go through it, and we all do. Some people obviously pick it up a bit quicker. I was just way too aggressive and gambling on a lot of my evaluations, because sometimes when they're so cheap, you throw money in, and I just took way too many, way more than I needed to. But I was a bit stubborn, and but you learn, don't you? I mean, who'd have think I'd have been sat here for 4 or 3.5 hours and not taken a trade? I'd have taken a week's worth by now normally. But no, you've had a good day anyway. So like you say, you get over it quick enough, don't you? But but yeah, not the easiest day to trade today. I'm hoping Thomas Wade does a video tonight. I think he does every other day. Mac doesn't do one on a Friday, so I like to see one. Bounce right back to the tick. Yeah. So are we now going to come back, or are we going to push up, come back a bit, and then start working? It's hard to say, really, isn't it? Run it like a business now, as long as my profits exceed my expenses. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You've been doing this long enough now to know this is just something you just slowly get better and better and better at. It is one of those things that's, Mac talks about it as a skill. Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it, mate? I know Sunday's going to be lovely down here. It is a real skill that you just get better with over time. So you're at the level now where you're starting to get a little bit of success, and you're probably going to still have a rocky road, like you say, blowing a couple of stuff goes wrong, and then you'll start to filter the crap, and then things will start to, you'll come out of that little lull on that diagram, and but it is a ride, isn't it, that everyone must take. Break of the downtrend channel, a new extreme. Comes from yesterday. I actually had that channel drawn when I started, because I took those evaluations. So yeah, break of that. See, Mac never talks about this, but how can you argue with that? No, they don't. No, they don't. But we all sort of go through the same thing. We all go through those emotions, throwing money at it, doing stupid stuff, getting frustrated with the markets, and it's that moulding, isn't it? It's almost like the gym of the mind, isn't it? You go to the gym to exercise, change your body, lose some weight, whatever, but when you're changing your mindset here, it's not really visible, is it? Like it is, if you were exercising or something. So yeah, this bigger downtrend with a break, we had 2 legs down, measured move, broke the lows, and a strong reaction off this, so that's interesting. So are we now going to push up and take out that? I've been speaking to Mac, and he is surprised I have had success being he is surprised, or isn't he? He is surprised I've had success being an engineer, so we can't have mistakes in our day job. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. I think you get out of trading what you put in. If you work hard at it and you just keep, it is a numbers game. This, the more you practice, the longer. It's something that just comes in time. The more hours you put in, you can't help but get better. You can't watch this every day and start to notice what's going on. A lot of engineers that can't trade for shit because they can't accept mistakes. Strange, isn't it? Strange. Does that mean you're a good trader or a shit engineer? How are you taking that, mate? Well, he says he knows engineers. Does he mean he knows good engineers? Well, to be honest with you, I'm guessing you're going to earn a lot more money out of trading than you are engineers. And I'm assuming when you are earning some decent money, you're probably going to kick the job into touch anyway, aren't you? Yeah, it might mean finally you found something you're good at trading and not engineering. I thought about engineering once, actually, and then ended up. My girlfriend was dumped me for a chef, and that's where I ended up in the kitchens. Make a mistake because there's a lot more. There's a lot more risk in that type of business, isn't there? Same doesn't apply now. Apart from you can use a shitload of money, but yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, engineering. Obviously depending on what you're developing and what you're putting together. Same as fixing cars. Yeah, I suppose you make a mistake on someone's brakes. blame the engineers for bad designs. Yeah, I'd say what I love watching actually the programs about it because you know Dubai is somewhere I'd love to go and live, even just for a year or two. But I quite often watch them where they built the Burj Khalifa and the what's that hotel called? They're really interesting actually. I love these engineering programs that you get on Sky. That show how they built it. That what's the one that's built as a sail? It'll come to me. The world's only 7-star hotel, because they had problems with it. Because a lot of it's man-made, isn't it? And they build these islands, and they had problems with the sea eroding the bottoms. So they built these concrete shapes. Yeah, interesting. I love all that sort of stuff. You got the tools for the years, were you? Yeah. So I was a bricklayer for a fair few years. I enjoyed bricklaying actually. I found it quite therapeutic, laying brick after brick. It is interesting though to see something, isn't it? Just to see a pile of rubble and a blank canvas, and to see something built. But yeah, I enjoy bricklaying. Trouble is, it's not the best job when it comes to the weather, especially in the UK. A few bricklaying videos on YouTube, really. Yeah, it is very therapeutic. Yeah, I sort of watch a lot of stuff. There's a couple of guys I watch. Who's the one? Still watching from time to time. Oh, the one with a very small forehead. What's his name? He's got a massive following. What's his name? Come to me in a minute. I think his girlfriend works with him on site now. Charlie. Yeah, that's it. Charlie Coulson. Yeah, I think his girlfriend or his wife works on site with him now, with a pink card. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the crack and a bit of a laugh you have on site. Nice to build something, to put a house up, build a house. Yeah, I worked on the Bellway site about 2 or 3 miles from my front door, and I built this, or one side of it, this big sort of lovely stone wall as you come into the entrance, and I still drive past it now and again. It brings back memories. That's one on Charlie Coulson. Yeah, it is interesting, isn't it? He's got a massive following. He has a hell of a lot of people watching him. Is there a solution on what's that? Awesome. Talk to Awesome. What is going on here? Okay, I'm going to bin that. That looks to me just a couple of legs down to break these lows. So I think it will be likely we may come up here now. Do for a hobby something therapeutic. It is therapeutic, laying bricks. It really is, brick after brick. I just love the sound of the trowel as it rubs off the edge of the bricks as you put your muck on them. Plonk it down and give it a little tap and that. Yeah, it is therapeutic. It's lovely in the summer. It's just winter. It can be a ball ache. Can't lay bricks in 3 degrees or low, or it's got to be 3 degrees plus and climbing. So you do get a lot of downtime for the weather, which sometimes isn't that bad because you don't want to be working out in the pissing rain anyway. If it's snowing, you can't. If it's too hot, sometimes it's difficult as well. Bricks just tend to dry out. But no, you know what the UK is like for rain. Yeah. It is one of those unfortunate trays that you just can't do in the rain, really. A little bit of light spitting is all right, but once it starts to rain, your muck on your balls just turn to soup, gets all down the brickwork, doesn't point up properly, and it just doesn't work. I've got some plans in a drawer downstairs to build a boat, something I've wanted to do for years. I bought some plans from an American site, a design for a boat. It's a small boat. I think it's about 4 meters long, made out of mainly marine ply, but it's built on like an old-fashioned 1950s Italian-style motorboat. It's just something I've always fancied having a go at. So I love building stuff. Much rather build it than buy it, I would. What are you thinking, oh, some up here somewhere? So we know that bigger channel is now at a break. And also, we've had a break of it. It is also 1-2 pushes down to a new low. Bull's getting stronger now. Need to wait for a pullback. Yeah. Trouble is, if you get a pullback here, you're still right in the middle of this range. Unless we get a second entry along with a higher low, but there still is. You want that boat. The one the kit I ordered, it was by a company. It was a designer. It's called the Glenelg Zip. I'll show you a picture of it. Made with mainly marine ply, but you use more exotic woods on the deck and that. Yeah, that's the thing there. You sort of build a frame and that, but isn't it beautiful? You just build all the frame. But there is a guy that builds it, but it looks stunning. Yeah, it just comes. You just build it as a kit. You just buy the wood and cut it. But look how beautiful you can make it look. But yeah, I bought the plans and I'm gonna have a go at it one day. I believe you can make that. I do as well, mate. I do like woodwork and building stuff. But yeah, you just make it mainly out of like a pine type thing, the framework. And you build it on like a truss on a stand, and then you flip it over eventually, and then to start to build a deck. Just build something over a couple of years for a bit of fun. But we got a little boat, a little 4-meter sib, a little inflatable with an engine. Cup holder as well, absolutely, mate, absolutely. I want myself one of those, you know, those helmets where you put the cans in with a straw, with the pipe. Something nice about being on the water, isn't there, when it's nice and still? So, it's just nothing here, is there, really? You've got to get above this, really. I'm hoping we get a leg and then maybe a correction and the start of something else. But I do like the idea of... I wouldn't be shocked if by the end of the day we broke above that bearish bar. There's actually not a lot of points. We can soon cover that. Yeah, it's nothing. 26, 27 points, nothing. Last of strong pushes up. I made 2 legs down lower. Yeah, it's not the best looking picture, really, is it? This, even if it makes 2 legs down, you're going long into support. So for me, we need to get above this and then have some sort of setup, maybe above here or something. I don't know. It's just going to take time, I think. It is a slow day. You know, as far as a range day, it's not the worst range day. There isn't a lot of setups, but at least it's acting like a range. It's turning at the tops and at the bottoms. That one, I had this channel, the range slightly different. That one would have been a nice rate. But if I can get one good setup a day, I'm more than happy. And that was good enough to take. Unfortunately, I had this downtrend, and I was thinking about another possible leg down. What time is it? My wife and daughter are out shopping, so I might sit here another 15 minutes. So, a little channel with a break. New high. if it can react with this and then maybe get something. Couple of legs. Okay, excuse me, just for a couple of minutes. Okay. Let's have a look on Bookmap if that's giving us any. Northern Lights lightly in the UK. Is that tonight? Northern Lights sightings lightly in the UK. Been issued for Thursday the 16th. According to Watch UK, those in Scotland, Northern England, Northern Ireland. I had a chance to see the phenomenon by eye. There's also a chance of spectacular light display. Everywhere else in the UK, that's interesting. What was I just doing? Oh, Bookmap. There is a liquidity around the 24, 25, so up here, up at this level, so I think there's a good chance we're going to get up here. It's hard to say really, isn't it? It doesn't matter whether we think it's going to get up there. It still may not. Did you see my photos? Oh, I didn't, mate, no. I'll have to have a look. You're going to see it tonight as well, apparently. Scotland, Northern England, and a good chance about the rest of the UK as well. So I've always wanted to see it. And typical. I was fast asleep in bed, I think, and no one decided to phone. which is unusual. I believe seeing the reds as well is a lot more rare. I'll have to have a look, mate. Yeah, tonight we got a warning. A euro, a euro. What is it? Aura watch or whatever it is. Yeah, so we could get some tonight. Definitely, it says Scotland. That's what I'm looking for. Scotland, Northern England, Northern Ireland, but the rest of the UK may get something as well. So it sounds like you're going to be okay. Are we going down again? Let's have a look. Aurora, yeah, that's it. Right, I couldn't remember what it was called. So like this NQ, what's this looking like? Okay, clearly 2 legs down, measured move, push up, pull back, maybe retest this low. That might not be too bad. So we've had 2 legs down, push up, 2 legs down, clear measured move, and a strong push up. And we may retest this and push up, so we may have a leg, and then maybe something larger. I don't think there's a bigger channel there. Possible. Even if it was something like that with a leg up, I don't know is the answer. Trouble is, channel with a break a new high, we could come back down. It's always possible. Well, are we going to end up having something like that, which would take us above here for a second leg? One leg up. Second leg up would take us above these highs. Certainly in the realm then to retest and maybe continue on up. But if this low gets taken out, I don't think it's going to be upwards. It looks like more downwards. That is the low of the day and kind of a nice bounce. Everything's played out nice, measured move, good strong rejection off there. So like if that gets down, then I think it may be more bearish then. But I'll be surprised if it does get down. Have you looked at the C? I'm looking at it now, mate, actually. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I swapped it over. Not a brilliant day for it today. I have had it on here. You can see I've been marking it up. Actually, there is a higher low there. Actually, that's really nice. 2 legs down, strong push up, come back, higher low. Worked nice that. Yeah. Nice higher low there. 70 times 2, would it work? Yeah, I don't know, but so far so good. We've got plenty of room up here. It's been a bit whippy today, so I haven't paid much attention to it. I've been looking at that daily a little bit. Yeah. And there is. So like a bear bar there, which it may push up. I won't be surprised if it does. Let's have a look here. Just looking at this as a possible failed breakout of this range. But I'm keeping an eye on that NQ. I don't think we're going to get down to that low. How do the contracts work? I'm not too sure, mate. All I know is if you go for 10 ticks, it's about the same. Let's have a look. We're on a sim here, so I've got mine set there. So if you go for 10 ticks, that's 10 ticks. It's $200 based on 2 contracts. So it's very similar. And I've got mine set at 3 points, which is 240. So it's very similar. So 2 contracts on the 500 tick chart. And my profit set $200, which is 10 ticks. So it's almost, it's very close. But Vlad seems to make it work. So, but the trouble is, I've been quite focused on this. That I've been flicking backwards and forwards to the daily. But what I tend to do is in the evening is go and have a look at it. I didn't last night, but today, to be honest with you, I haven't paid much attention to it because it has been just whipping up and down. I mean, this, that, this. So, but going back a couple of days, price action was lovely. But yeah, it's definitely worth a look at. You know, it's supposed to work exactly the same, isn't it? But yeah, I've had it flick backwards and forwards to the daily, just looking at what might happen. It's always worth looking, isn't it? I mean, there's not a lot around at the moment. It's a shame about that one, actually, because that was a nice setup. It's a good option. Yeah, exactly. There's sometimes, you know, we know what this is like. We've had weeks where it's been good, and we've had weeks where it's been poor. But you know, if you were taking 3 or 4 trades a day on here, you'd need to be focused on here. But I've been sat here 3 3/4 hours without a trade, so I've certainly got plenty of time to look at another chart above my head. And if you do so, but I'm just looking on the sim at the moment, just a bit of a play around with it. But at some point, I may. Well, price action's price action. So if you can trade price action, you should theoretically be able to trade it. But once you play around with it for a bit, get a bit of confidence in it, then I may invest something into it. Put maybe a couple of accounts or something. NQ moves too much. Yeah, it can do. I do like the NQ though for a second opinion. It does help my decision making. Yeah, see, we'd had 2 measured legs, drop below all this, taking out all this liquidity down here, and then a strong rejection and push up. So this to me is just like a retest. But it looks like it's struggling. I'll have to keep an eye on this, but if that pushes up, then for me, I think it's more likely we get some upward stuff. So you may not, we may not. See if we can get a setup here. Maybe a second entry, lower high or something. Trap some shorts. I don't know. We'll see. Just got to be careful going trading in this. What's for tea tonight? I got roasted veg in the oven, mate. When I pop down, I just give it a turn. So roasted veg and a bit of fish and breadcrumbs. It's in the oven now. Well, the roasted veggies. New potatoes, sweet potatoes, carrots, courgette, swede, onions, a few herbs. And then before I have that, though, I'm nipping off to Sainsbury's to buy myself my last bottle of whiskey I finished last night. So you're having fish as well, eh? Yeah, you can't beat a bit of, I think it's haddock in breadcrumbs I think we got, but my 15-year-old's on a health freak thing at the moment. She's going through bags and bags of spinach and blueberries and Greek yogurt, and she's expecting salmon every other night, vegetables and stuff. Giving up on the gym. No, I went to the gym about 1:45 this morning. Couldn't sleep last night. So I went to, it's not far from, it's only a mile and a half from my house. It's a 24-hour gym, pure gym. So I went there and just did, I was in there about half an hour, not long. And then I stopped at the 24-hour McDonald's on the way back just for a cup of coffee. But no, I just did a light workout, just did some shoulder and back and arms, chest, just a little bit of just some light stuff. I haven't done a lot lately, see, so and I'll go tonight, maybe do some legs and some abs or something. Tis handy having the 24-hour one, because when you trade, see, no, I didn't have a McFlurry last night. No, I just had a coffee. Probably not the best thing to have at like 1:30 in the morning, but I can sleep all right on it. Taking it slow this time. Did you really? I did it years ago, and I was doing behind the neck press. I think I had 15 kilos plus the bar, and I was doing behind the neck press, and I did some damage to a rotator cuff. And just now and again, over the last few years, it was just playing up. You know, if I'd overdo it or something. But since I started last time, I thought it was going to get worse. It actually got better. The more I trained, the better it got. 24 hour McDonald's is on the same estate. Yeah, it's beautiful. Not just doing body weight, there's some cables. Yeah, I just did some. I did some chest, just some dumbbell presses, just a couple of sets of them, and some shoulder presses as well. Same as it. Yeah, it is ideal, isn't it? And it's just so close. I mean, it literally takes me about 3 minutes in a car at that time in the morning. But because I don't start work till I don't get to the charts off until 2:00 in the afternoon, so my sleeping is all over the place. So I tend to go to bed about 2:00, 2:30 sometimes, and I get up about 9, 9:30, something like that. But yeah, when you're sort of working from home, you've got no real time constraints, have you? So this is interesting. Let me just have a quick look at this. What is going on here? Are we just trapping some shorts? We've had this big bounce off here. We've come back and tried it. There is a higher low there. I wouldn't be thinking about going short here, but I could have it completely wrong. You just never know. Sometimes it's easy to get focused on the wrong picture, isn't it? We had a perfect measured leg. You think it's going to go up. So there's a second entry short there, which may come down. But to me, if this is a channel, it's losing momentum, which means we're going to get a break. So I'd expect that to get stopped out if it triggers. We got a higher low there, but it's a doji. So this could go up for another leg, or it could trap you and drop. But the NQ is looking yeah, I like Puget Max. It's quite basic, but it's like £20, £22 a month. It's cheap, really. But we've got a Ballantyne's, which is about half a mile from that, but that's £65 a month. So you got all the saunas and the pool and all that for that. But I like to get into the gym and get out. I do. I usually get in on the running machine just for 5 or 10 minutes, and then the cross trainer, just have a quick warm up, and then stick my earbuds on and just lift some weights. Much better for you lifting weights. There's a lot more benefits to it. That's a job, but I miss this on the pool. Yeah, I don't seem to have time for that at the moment. We have a pool in the garden in the summer, which is just one of those. We bought it about, well, this is the second one we've had. We bought one about 5 years ago. It's one of those round Intex pools, the 12-foot one. And we bought a let's have a look. Yeah, it's one of these type things. That's it there. One of those. 12 foot by 30. So it's sort of up just below your waist. And we fill it up, and we have like something that floats in there, which puts the chlorine in. And we changed this pump. We bought a sand filter pump, which was about 165 quid. And it keeps it crystal clear. And we have that open all summer. But you know what it's like when you get a hot evening. Just nice to have a dunk. Sometimes I'm in it at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning in the summer. In fact, I was in it last year. We had a massive thunderstorm, and I was in the pool because it was quite muggy. My wife shouted out the window, "You fucking suicidal." There was thunder and lightning all around me, and I was floating in a pool. But it's nice in the summer, you know, when it gets really hot. It's lovely to have a dunk. You've been out at work all day, but they're cheap. We bought a new one this year, a grey coloured one. It was about £120, and that'll last for about 3 summers. We have it up for about 4 months of the year. And they're so cheap to run. We have this sand filter which automatically comes on twice a day for about 2 hours, and it keeps it crystal clear. I've got a 15-year-old who has friends around. You know, we get family around sometimes for a barbecue, and all the kids are in the pool. You know, have a few drinks. Nice, really nice. But dead cheap. I know they're getting dead popular now as well. I don't know what's going on here. Trouble is, if you're putting a channel in like that, it's easy to change your bias. There's actually a possible... no, maybe not. It's very, if you put that in, see, it's very easy to automatically think about lungs, but if we push up, we get a higher low. I may have a go at that. What a range sideways accumulation, yeah. It's been like it all day, isn't it? Trouble is, you go along here, it could trigger you, go sideways. In fact, I think I'm going to knock on the head for the day. Last thing I want to do is sit here for nearly 4 hours and take a dumb trade. I've got no problem with ending up zero for the day, not at all. Trouble is, you take a loss now at this part of the day because your patience goes. And you're just going to kick yourself, aren't you? So let me just save this up. Cheers, the 17th of the 5th, 24. There's the yes. Beautiful. So, not a brilliant day. There was a setup. You may have taken something like that to go short. Part of me wanted to take that at the time, but I left it. But it's still a little bit whippy. It's not the easiest day, but it is readable today. There's just not a lot of entries. The trouble is, when it's like this, you want your longs at the bottom and shorts at the top, but we haven't really been down here a massive amount of times. That I wasn't sure about because of the possible downtrend. So, not the easiest day to trade, but although I didn't take any trades, we've certainly had worse. But I just hope it improves. The good thing about having, plenty of accounts, even if you can do $250 per account per week, it's still $1,000 a month. And if you can get your account up to a reasonable amount that you can take that $1,000 a month, even on 10 accounts, it's still $10,000 a month. Still more money than anyone else is earning, really. Very tempting, that is. I'd rather get a higher low, I think. It is actually a second entry long, that, and we've had a little double bottom there, but it's dangerous trading here because at the moment prices are below the EMA, and they have been for quite a chunk of the day with the exception of this. So it may be a triple test there, it may be reversing, but trouble is, even if it does break above that EMA, it could come back and retest it. It's 11 ticks, tick above, tick below. I'm not risking $325 on that trade. Could be a second entry. Well, 2 legs. I don't know. I'm done for the day anyway, folks. So look, have a great weekend. Appreciate all your comments. And I'll be back on Monday. I'm going to go and buy myself a bottle of scotch and drink some of it. So have a great weekend, guys. If you carry on trading, you too, but if you carry on trading, best of luck. I hope we get out of this thing eventually. I won't be surprised if we end up here tonight and some. You're welcome, guys. You're welcome. So have a great weekend. Stay safe, and I'll be back on Monday. Hopefully we may get some setups next week. So have a great weekend, and I am done. Bye for now.